Welcome everyone to a very threading and dreading Christmas special. And everyone... Well,
That's like the least corny thing you could have possibly said. I'm actually really proud of you. That's growth.
Thank you. It's Wyance again and the Projectionist, and we're going to go around the room and introduce everybody. To my left we have...
The goddess of core.
How you doing?
Great.
You've been kind of, well, you're happier now because the season is almost over. Not that you hate the season, but it's just a very chaotic time for you. For
Which
where
season?
you work.
Right.
Prison
This
break?
sounds like a really
Yes.
controlling relationship. He just told you what you thought
Everything.
and felt and what you should say and how to react to it.
Which season were we talking about? Prison break?
Yeah.
Season 3.
The Christmas season.
Oh, yeah.
The one where the guy who's now on Flash comes out.
It's not going to happen, Paul. Let it go.
But
That dude's gay, dude. The younger brother on
Never
Prison
mind.
Break, that actor's gay.
I know.
Steve has like the biggest fucking crush on him too. He was on the Flash. Steve's like, "Oh my god, I love him. He's so hot." What? I wasn't looking. Okay.
But you're doing well?
sure.
That
Sure.
was a question. I bet you.
He wasn't telling me what I had to say that time.
Tell them you're well. Do it. Just read your cards.
And next to the Goddess of Gore we have...
The superhuman aficionado.
And how are you, sir?
I'm good. Kim got me yoga pants.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, they're all
Glittery.
crazy. Glitterly.
Literally.
Glitterly.
Like,
and,
glitter and literally. Glitterally.
and pixelated. I don't know if you looked at these pants, but it looks like somebody had a seizure
The
with
whole
color.
are the whole pants like that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they are.
If you look at
Geometric patterns.
look at the photo, it looks
Yeah.
awful and
I would
pixelated.
run
Hey,
the
it's
shit
for
out of
a
those things.
9-year-old.
I am not 9.
Well,
Close enough.
mentally.
Actually, that whole thing where if you add the numbers and your age together, I'm 9.
Exactly.
Me. It's for me. I'm doing
And it comes with a headband. A matching headband.
word. Are you going to tell me how I'm feeling, Mike? How am I feeling?
How are you feeling?
No, tell me. You tell me. You obviously know.
Tell me how I'm feeling. How are you feeling? That's very confusing.
You're feeling like a headband and yoga pants, apparently.
It's for
Rock
your
the
yoga
shit out,
classes
dude.
that you take.
80s montage style.
I really need to start.
Don't need a
yoga.
montage.
It's actually, I feel really bad because as soon as I got Will to start going to yoga,
You quit on it?
I didn't quit. I got sick. And then I never went back.
You two at yoga is the best thing that's ever popped into my head. It's so awesome.
And you guys may hear one more other voice in the room. I'm sorry. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
I'm super good at yoga.
Okay.
She'd be like, dudes aren't flexible. Paul, you're kind of awesome. And I was like, Shh, I know.
Do the squatting
Someone really
penguin.
say that?
There's no squatting penguin. Yes.
How do you know? You haven't done all
Who said
yoga.
that?
The teacher.
Oh.
She wanted me to go to the advanced classes, but I couldn't because I couldn't get there that early. Because, like, they started like an hour and a half before, and Steve was like, but I can't get there because I haven't work and I'm an important scientist. And I'm like,
Wow.
we've been together for 2 years almost, and I still don't have superpowers. So that's all I know.
No,
Has he
not be a
taught
very
you to,
good chemist.
like, suck an egg through a bottle?
Is that a thing?
Ah, people do that. Joey Gladstone did it in Full House.
And we do have one other voice in the room. You may hear him. It is one of our buddies you may remember from our beach trip videos. And, gosh, what else has he been in with us? Oh, some of the Cards Against Humanity recordings we've done.
Oh, we have those. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know those
They
existed.
exist.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. We
Yeah,
forgot
those
about
exist.
God, my least favorite thing to do with Mike is Cards Against Humanity.
Why?
Because you always think that your card is the funniest one.
Who doesn't think their card is the
No,
funniest one?
No. But it's like you're reading the cards and it's like, oh, this one, which is clearly the funniest one. And Mike's like, oh, that. And then his, which is clearly like just a blank card. And he's just like, ah! And
I'm just
you're
glad he
like,
pulled the microphone away from his face when
I
he did
had
that.
to because it would have exploded.
But you didn't know that. You just realized you peaked every mic in the room when you did that.
Good. Everybody
Well, my mic's
understands.
facing this way, so.
And I peaked it. I bounced off the AC back there.
But, yet, when we played last night, I won 3 rounds in a row, so you figure that one out.
That's because they knew which
like
card was yours and they wanted you
fight
to
going
shut the
down.
fuck up.
No, that wasn't it at
I
all.
feel like Daddy just hit Mommy at the dinner table.
And Mommy still hasn't shut the fuck up, has she?
But anyway,
She's about to get hit again.
if we could finish this introduction,
We are going to get around to this eventually.
to my right, from the Beach Trip videos, from the Cards Against Humanity recordings, you may remember him. It is our buddy Danny, a.k.a. What are we gonna call him?
I don't know, Black Panther or something.
Black Panther. Wow.
You know
Stick
what?
with what are we gonna call
I
it?
actually love
That's
it. It's the most racist shit for the whitest person I know. I fucking
I
love
am
it.
not the whitest person. I'm
black-
definitely the blackest person in this room.
Oh my god.
What was it? The Black Panther. I was gonna say.
We were going to call him the Black Lantern because he's a ginger and has no
because
soul.
he's a ginger and has no soul.
Dude, actually, that's a misconception. Gingers actually have more souls than anybody.
Gingers
Yes.
don't have any souls of their
No.
own.
Each
Who cares
freckle
if it's your
represents
own?
a
You
soul.
just said I
stolen,
didn't have any
yes.
soul. I got more soul than anybody.
There is no Danny soul. There are only other
There
souls.
are other Danny souls. They're just not redheaded.
Or we can
Danny
call him
soul.
the redheaded stepchild, whatever you guys want to call him. But
I don't give a shit what
he's
you call
Danny.
me. Just
He's Danny.
I'll be the one that cusses.
He's
a lot.
here for the booze.
Danny's,
Yeah, there's
Danny's
free beer
Goddess
here,
of
so-
Gore 2.0.
Goddess of Gore 2.0. Wow.
I just wanted to call him a
It's
girl.
awful.
So how's everybody doing?
Oh, we could call him Straight Paul.
Straight Paul.
That was my nickname at one point.
I like that. Welcome to the room, Straight Paul.
At the beach, he refers to me as Gay Dan, and I refer to him as Straight Paul.
Okay.
We are
That
very
works.
much alike, other than the penis preferences.
So how's everyone's Christmas been going?
One of my jobs is retail, so I kind of want to set every person I've ever met
Hold
on
on.
fire.
I think we killed Danny for a second.
Danny's
Hold
fine.
He'll pull through.
Well,
Tuesday. So good, dude.
Christmas has been on a Tuesday before. You don't.
This is on a Thursday this year. That's why.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, go on.
And I work in retail, where every person who's ever made $1 in their life is like, "Let me buy shit I can't afford and that nobody wants."
You know, I heard a
And complain
Kohl's,
about
I
it.
heard
And
a
then
Kohl's
let's-
commercial earlier, and they were like, "Just spend $600 a year here, and you can be our most." I was like, $600 a year, motherfucker! who makes that much money? And they can just go, "Well, time to go to Kohl's and spend $600
Yeah.
I've never bought $600 in clothes in a year.
Right, and that's like something with Best Buy. If you want to get into their silver club or whatever it is, their silver point system, you have to spend $2,500 a year.
I thought it was going to be $2,500, but and as soon as you said it, I was like, well, if you buy like a washer and a dryer
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
that's
I'm like,
easier.
why is that a
But
lot of money to
Kohl's-
you?
But
Kohl's,
that's like
everything
every
in Kohl's
year.
is 90% off. Like,
Yeah,
just
there's
buy a
always
shirt
a
for
fucking
30
sale.
cents.
Mike, I can find you one TV that's $2,500 and you're
Fair
set
enough
for the year.
Fair enough, but you have to buy
yes.
that once a year.
The
Okay.
point of that's
So
the
next
thing. I don't
year-
update my TV once a year.
Right, exactly. You have to update something once a year for $2,500.
Or you just have to have something break every year. TV's
buy a lot
broken,
of
vacuum's
shit?
broken.
Buy a lot of
Going to the
fucking
back room,
movies.
kicking the refrigerator. What are you doing?
Refrigerator's
I need to be a
broken.
silver member. Quick kick.
We have a platinum member too. I think silver's only $1,200.
Your feet are getting dangerously close. You need to
Do you
stop.
not, do you not like feet?
She despises feet.
No
because
woman
no.
likes feet. Unless
What
you
if I had monkey feet and they were
God.
like hands?
No.
We could play patty cake with my feet.
Oh no.
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 Paul, you don't
There's
understand.
no way.
Like, if I get within like a foot of her with my foot with my
Sorry, that was really
yeah,
close.
she
really funny.
just screeches. Like,
Yeah, but
no,
your feet
go
are
away.
gross.
Screech.
You've
What?
gross Mike feet.
Gross Mike feet.
Yeah.
GMFs, dude. Get you every time.
My good old GMFs.
That's a thing now.
Oh god.
Can we just do this? Can we just like record us talking bullshit for like
No, we do that for like
A
the first
fucking
20
hour.
minutes.
This is pretty much the pot. And then eventually it's like, oh yeah, by the way, reviews.
Yeah.
oh yeah, movies.
I saw that trailer and it was bad.
Moving on.
I don't want to see it. Let's complain.
All right. Does anyone have any? We don't really have movie news this week because we're going to get into some stuff that we were asking our viewers for. But does anyone have any movie news or TV news they want to bring up? Comic book news? Anything?
TV news, Cora's a lesbian. That's pretty freaking awesome. That's Mike's getting pissed off because I keep talking about it, but it's
know,
groundbreaking shit. I mean,
I
a
don't mind that you
children's
keep
program.
breaking about it. I don't care that you keep talking about it, but
I watched Breaking Bad today.
I don't mind you keep talking about it. And I admit it is groundbreaking. It is.
It's super
But you
exciting.
keep forgetting that you've told me.
Mike, you keep forgetting. I have the memory of a 97-year-old woman.
That's memory with a B.
Memory of a goldfish.
Exactly.
Memory.
Memory with a B. Of a
You
97-year-old. You remember I told you when I was in that war, you
you
were
guys
in a
know
war,
Cora
you're
was
27.
Really?
Swear to God.
Who the fuck is Cora?
I don't know. Did you know Cora's gay? Well, he
And
hooked up with a
Clearly.
chick,
I
but-
made this contention that since she was hooking up with men early in the season, or early in the first season, doesn't that make her bi, not a
No.
lesbian?
You clearly don't understand sexuality.
Question: what are we talking about?
There's a show, the Avatar,
The Last Airbender.
Last Airbender.
That's a TV show.
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
No.
Is it on Cartoon Network or?
No, it was on Nickelodeon.
It was on
for a while.
Nickelodeon.
Oh, that's close.
And then they made
Give me
a
some
follow-up series about the next Avatar, Korra.
Wait, these are cartoons making out with each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I see Kim's butt in sweatpants, less attractive than it sounded initially.
Dude, chicks' butts and sweatpants are the fantastic. Can you edit that? Get that out of there.
What's great is that the things we say we're gonna edit get like highlighted.
No, I'll edit it if you want.
I don't care. Janelle knows.
No, it's
I'm married, everybody. Sorry.
He's taken.
only recently. It doesn't count yet,
That still counts, bro.
does it? Oh.
Anyway, continue.
No, it's just it's big news for a children's network
It is. It
to
is.
do something like that. And when I read today, it wasn't just implied like, oh, I'm gonna let the fans maybe think this. The writers had this in mind. They went to Nickelodeon and they said, we want to do this. We were thinking about this and we thought, no, we're not allowed to do this. And then we thought, no, that's that heterophobic mindset
Right.
that we're used to, that we think that everybody's in. We want to do this.
Don't
And
you
Nick
mean
said,
that homophobic mindset, not the heterophobic?
it was, look, it's not my quote.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. That mindset that you can't do something gay because it's wrong, because children can't see it. But why can't they?
right.
That's what we're moving towards. Is that, I mean, there are gay parents. We're everywhere. We've infiltrated everything.
Don't say that, Paul, because you're just giving them fuel for the fire. They're infiltrating everything.
We
Look, they've said it.
One of
We've stolen your jobs. We've stolen your husbands.
Go
and
back
now
to your
we're
own damn
stealing your
country.
kids. What's that?
I said, go back to your own damn country.
Right.
No, that's called Manhattan.
Zing.
That's
But,
just 'cause they make a lot of money.
So Nickelodeon said, yeah, do it. Absolutely. 100%. And they were like, really? And they were like, yeah, do it. But there is a line that we can't cross just because, we
It's a
could get
children's
in
show.
trouble.
Right.
So Nickelodeon allowed two chicks to make out? Is that
Well,
what?
they
They didn't
make
show
out.
them kiss. That was the line that they couldn't get to.
Okay.
They
That's
could
what I
show
wanted
them.
to be
They
clear
could show
on.
them get together.
Yeah. They
you know,
showed
but-
them like hold hands,
Right.
walk into what was essentially a portal, and then take
That is-
both hands.
Almost exactly the image I had in my head when you said that they didn't make out. I was like, oh, they probably just held hands and
Yeah.
like walked down the street or something.
Well,
Yeah.
but then they take both both hands. This scene prior was a wedding, where you see the bride and groom take hands and like kiss. They take hands the same way, and then they physically they just disappear into
cool.
this portal. I said it would have been even more groundbreaking, even if it just had them lean in and
That'd have been fine.
just disappear before they made contact. But even
but
what
you
they
know
did-
that
but
would
sure,
have
they
pissed
have
off
limits.
Yeah.
That would
They
have
have
pissed
limits,
off
man.
everybody.
yeah,
I
but
wouldn't have pissed off everybody, but it would have been the wrong thing to do for something that's groundbreaking.
Right,
You don't want to
right.
like
And-
you don't want to go too far and then have the plug pulled or something.
exactly.
You know?
And actually, what the writer said was, the one writer had been talking to the other writer, and he said, I don't want 20 years from now to say we wanted to do something and we didn't do it because we were scared.
Right.
And so they went to Nickelodeon and they said, we want to do this. We've led up to this. The second half of the season was them getting closer and closer and closer. And they said, this is how we want to end the season. And they said, do it. To get that kind of push for something so powerful it's exciting.
And
It's
that's
exciting
great.
news.
Yeah, I think that's great.
It's more than just like in comic books when there's gay characters, because comic
Right.
books aren't just Nickelodeon's aimed at like kids and preteens, and
Right.
even though like adults were watching Korra,
Right.
because it was a more mature show, comic books are aimed for all ages,
Right.
so they can't say like, no, we can't have gay characters.
Right.
We're like, no, but you can have fucking Green Arrow's sidekick shooting up heroin. Speedy was addicted to speed.
Yep.
Erica.
Because of
Erica?
America.
Oh, America.
America.
I was like, is Erica on speed? I should text Erica. You have the heroin? I need to
I'm
leave
over.
early, guys.
I need H.
I need H. So, any other movie news we want to bring up? Anything?
Just as a avid Batman fan, I'm very excited to see Ben Affleck as Batman. I might be the only one.
Get out.
I'm super stoked to see
Lay
it.
under my back tires. I'll be
want
out there in
him
about
to
an
be
hour.
Batman so bad. I hated it at first. I'll admit, but I think it's gonna be awesome.
You know,
Just saying it. That's it. We can
Danny,
move on if you want.
I'm with you, but at this point, I don't want to invoke Paul's wrath anymore because I'm afraid that if we bring it up anymore, he will
No
destroy
problem.
everything in
Just
my
wanted
home.
to voice my opinion. That's all. We can move on.
Kim, I have a question.
Oh god.
Is that a gas oven?
I can't answer that.
You have to get past me first, Chief.
There's 2 entrances into the kitchen, bro.
I'm blocking both of them.
I've climbed over a fatty before.
Yeah. So, instead of movie news this week, we're actually going to cover something that we had asked you all, our viewers, or I should say our listeners, to submit to us on Facebook, on Podomatic, on YouTube. What we wanted you to submit was what you thought for Christmas would be the best crossover that you could, imagine in your lifetime. If it was movie or television, comic book, novel, whatever it may be, what would you like to see have a crossover? And we actually got a very, very good response from a lot of people. And the first one we're going to cover is actually...
He's not going to ask us?
Well, we can start with you guys if you want. I was going to end with you
You're
guys.
not important.
I was going to
damn
say something really inappropriate about my penis and bears, so, I didn't
Wow.
have anything to contribute. I just wanted to be gross.
it. I don't understand how your penis and bears. I mean,
It's
like
a crossover.
Like Winnie the Pooh.
I'm okay with that. I'll call
Winnie
him
the Pooh was definitely gay, dude. There is him and Eeyore.
Him and Piglet.
Him and Piglet. Piglet was like a baby. That's weird.
They were
Pedophilia.
okay. They were stuffed animals, and they weren't alive. That kid was a schizophrenic.
You know why Eeyore was depressed?
Because he was the
Because
first...
he was the submissive.
Oh my
Because
god!
they
plenty
had
of
to nail his
submissives
tail
that-
into his ass every day.
What the... Yeah!
I know plenty of submissives that aren't depressed.
Trust me, you don't.
Oh my god!
They like it. They're like, oh, sure.
But
there
that's
it
the
is.
thing. Eeyore didn't like it.
Then
He wasn't like, draw me
submissive.
in this Pooh comic, please.
He was being raped. He wasn't submissive. He was a kidnap victim.
That's what I'm kind of saying. He was the
It's different.
Kim,
submissive.
open the door, run!
I regret ever.
We're not going to make
mentioning
Kim the
Winnie
submissive. Yeah, that's
So-
what I say.
We have a couple responses from Facebook. Actually, a lot of them are from Facebook. But
I'm just saying that I like bears. That's all.
Pooh.
I know.
We got
Likes
it.
gay bangs.
Thanks.
He doesn't-
Danny, quick note. Paul will turn anything into a conversation about bears.
That's not true.
Anything!
It's mostly true.
That's
Mostly-
not even true.
I
That is
challenge you to
mostly
not
true.
Because I love Mila Kunis and her bear Jack Daniels commercial. Was it Jack Daniels?
No, Jim Beam.
Yes,
Jim Beam.
No.
Yeah.
That commercial was made for me.
It had Mila Kunis in it.
I love Mila Kunis.
not
No,
Mike
he has
Kunis.
She's
sworn.
my one.
It wasn't Mike Kunis.
She's my one.
Mila.
He has said numerous
Milo
times he will go straight
Kunis.
for Mila Kunis.
Well, I mean, I'll have sex with her. I don't know that
Shit,
straight.
I'd go gay for Mila Kunis.
Wow.
Like, if she told you to fuck
Sorry,
Channing
honey.
Tatum, you'd be like, yeah, sure, go for it.
No,
For
I'll just
Mila
fuck
Kunis?
Channing Tatum. That's fine.
That'd be alright.
What?
No, I'm saying that's what Danny would say.
Did your boyfriend
I
just
think
came
you
out
just
to you?
admitted something.
No.
I have a question.
Mike Kunis.
Mike, for Christmas, here's what I want. I want to know
Oh,
who's your
no.
one.
My one.
Who's your one? Every guy has a one. Who's your one?
You know
Lenny
what?
Kravitz.
Channing Tatum.
No, it
Danny's
is,
is Lenny
it is
Kravitz.
not. It would not be Channing Tatum.
Mine is Lenny Kravitz. That's a sexy man.
Does he have to be singing?
The nose ring and the sunglass. Yeah, that's a good looking dude. I'm gonna go home. I'm just kidding. I'm getting another beer.
You know you've thought about it, you liar.
I thought about it because I knew this would probably come up at some point.
That's what
No,
I heard.
Because
For whoever
seeing as you
dies.
admitted that you would go straight for Mila Kunis, I thought eventually it would be turned around and saying, "Oh well, who would you go gay for?"
Of course.
something like that.
So who's your one?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's not a. That's
I've thought about it and I don't know.
okay. So you get to read their comments,
Stick to Lenny
and then
Kravitz.
you
Trust me.
have to. By the end of that, you have to have your one. You
I
have to
could read 'em and
settle
you could
on
think
a
about
one.
it.
You can read their comments first.
No,
You
no,
know
no.
you-
I'm thinking about it now, so I'm going to answer it now because
You
I'm not going to be able to
literally-
read these.
And think,
While
And
thinking about
think.
what
Can't-
dude you want to
yeah.
fuck.
And think
really
about what
can't
dude you
do
want to have sex
Right,
with.
exactly. I can't do that.
You know this is like
Kim, who's your one while
you
he's
don't
thinking?
have to do this. You're
I don't know.
That's not a feasible answer.
I know. I'm sorry.
Well,
Paul, I'm
I'm
with you,
thinking
man.
of one. You're going to think of one. All right.
That's fair.
So
I came out and said mine. Well, Lenny Kravitz.
came
Oh, you guys
out.
didn't ask. Okay.
Oh, that wasn't for me. I'm gonna go fuck
By the
it.
way, Merry Christmas, everyone.
I'm not gonna fist anybody.
No.
You didn't flip your finger. You just shoved your fist into the air.
Merry Fistmas.
Ah. So I'm at work the other day, and I'm telling these girls that I'm not going to teach my kids about Santa. I'm only going to teach them about Krampus. Because I want my kids
You mean
to be like...
Krampus?
I didn't ask for your pronunciation, Kate.
Krampus is like a dance move or something.
Yeah, it is.
No, crumping is
It's
a
like
dance
a dessert or something.
So anyway, I'm only going to teach them about Krampus. And so when they're like 9 years old, they're going to be super confused why every other kid is super excited about Christmas. Because they might get thrown in a sack and beaten. Or they could get gifts. It really depends on whether or not Daddy's happy that night.
You could teach them about the Santa from Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
Anti-Santa?
Just
Or
comes
rubber
around
Santa?
shooting everybody.
I love that Santa. Voiced
He's
by
a
John
great-
Goodman. He's
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
I'm so glad to see John Goodman in a movie again.
Wait, was it John Goodman, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was the dad from Fresh Prince.
No. No.
Phil?
No,
Uncle
no,
Phil?
no.
Uncle Phil.
Actually, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
I'll Google it.
No. The voice of the Santa from Futurama was John Goodman.
I don't not believe you, but I'm looking it up anyway.
Okay.
Mike, would you have sex with John Goodman?
Nobody would have sex with John Goodman.
John Goodman's wife would have sex with John Goodman. She has kids with John Goodman. Or
That was a
so
while
she
ago.
says. So the other day I'm in a store and I see this guy who looks like he could easily be Mike's dad. And I was like, you know
Tell
what?
me about this.
Mike's dad has the potential to be super hot. Just saying. He looked just like Mike, only he was like taller and like a little slimmer, like a little tighter. Just a little. And I was like, so Mike's potential dad. Let me show you the handicap
His
store right quick.
potential dad.
My hat's off to you, Mike. John Goodman.
Thank you.
John motherfucking
Robot
Goodman.
Santa.
You know what? I can only think of one person.
Is it Channing Tatum?
No, it is not Channing
Is it
Tatum.
Lenny Kravitz?
It's not Lenny Kravitz.
Is it Kevin
You
Smith?
can't have him, bud.
No, it's not Kevin Smith. Robert Downey Jr.
No.
Does he have to wear the Iron Man costume?
No, he doesn't.
But just the helmet.
Does he need to be dressed in drag like he is in Sherlock
that.
Holmes?
No,
That's good, because he
No.
wasn't a very good woman.
no. But he was a good Joker.
What
Did you
about
catch that?
What?
In Sherlock Holmes' Game of Shadows, there is a scene where he is directly referencing Heath Ledger's Joker. Because he had all that makeup on. When he's taking it off, he has big dark circles around his eyes, and his lipstick is smeared up his cheeks.
Everything
He
looks
looks
So when I
like
saw that movie, I was on a date, and I was super pissed off at the guy I was dating. So no.
Okay.
Or no, I wasn't pissed off. I just wanted to get back home and continue fucking.
Okay.
But still, no.
But check that out again.
will.
That was an homage to Heath Ledger.
Homage.
Or homage.
I know
Homage.
why you have your little.
Homage sounds racist.
It does.
Is it unionized or unionized?
I'm using that. Unionized.
Are you unionized?
Both.
No.
Would
So?
you have sex with Katherine Heigl?
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
He would.
That
Oh.
was just the first name that came to mind.
She
'cause I read
just
a thing
looks
about
like a pain in the ass.
She does.
it. Not even in a good way.
She'd be the bitch that like throws the heart of the ocean jewel in that Titanic thing over the railing. I'm not just gonna give it to you, damn it.
Your
Even
French
though you
girls now,
called me
motherfucker.
asking for it. Oh, here you go. I'll just make it fucking hard. You already checked that spot? That's where I'm throwing it. That woman was a bitch.
What about Anne Hathaway?
No.
I
You
would
can
cut
have
my
Mila.
leg off for that.
Okay.
Sorry, honey.
By the way, for those of you still waiting to hear what your responses are as far as the crossovers, we
yeah.
apologize.
Yeah, why doesn't he
Like
can
20
read
minutes
them and
ago.
I can think? Can we
Okay.
do that?
Okay. All right. So,
I can listen and think at the same time.
As far as your responses for what crossovers you'd like to see, we got one response from Craig Thompson on Facebook. He was the guy who did our art for our channel.
Oh, thanks,
And his response was,
Craig, we need you to redo Allison as a snake charmer.
you know what? I might ask him for that via
Like,
small
I'm
Christmas
talking like
gift.
slutty safari chick with snakes everywhere.
Oh my God!
Coming out of her mouth.
I feel like Wayne's World 2 when
Jesus.
Tia
Dude,
Carrera
You know what?
was,
He's gonna message me back and
making
just
that
say
video.
too phallic.
going into her mouth. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Anyway, so his response was, I want Die Hard combined with Home Alone, calling it Die Hard Alone at Home.
I saw that.
And I'm like, you know what? I would fucking love to see that.
Of course you
It's
would,
like,
'cause you love
you
that
know,
artist.
John McClane going through the building, like escaping all the traps and keep getting like the shit kicked out of him.
I
and
would
keeps
like to
going
see
and
John
going and
McClane
going.
setting the traps for
McAllister?
Kevin?
no. The other dudes from Die Hard.
Oh.
Like Alan
Professor
Alan
Snape?
Rickman and all those guys.
Oh, yeah, so they have to go through
They
the
have to go
traps.
through the traps. That would be.
I
kinda
could see
fun
that
to
too, yeah.
Marbles and cans of paint.
Alan Rickman getting hit in the head with a can of paint is the best thing that's ever happened to
That's
cinema.
kind of awesome.
Or hasn't happened to cinema.
Gets like glued to a doorway.
Damn
and
it,
then- or,
Potter.
like, what was the one where he grabs the doorknob and it just like
It burned
is
his
on
hand.
fire?
Yeah.
It still burns an M for McClane though, so that's
Yeah.
Ah,
Gotta be super
nice.
Oh yeah,
Very
every
nice.
single thing that he would do would be like and like something Die Hard related.
Ho,
leave it
ho,
on the doorstep
ho.
and get the hell out of here.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now I have a machine gun.
You do that very well.
Well done.
Hello, I'm Alan Rickman.
Severus.
So we had another response from Dan Snyder, which is one that some of you may
I
not
don't know
get,
that
but
name.
his response was, I want Ghost in the Shell Special Victims Unit. Do you know what Ghost in the Shell
Is
is?
it a video game?
No, it's an anime.
It's an anime,
Oh.
yeah.
But are they ghost hunters? I don't actually know what
Wait,
that
what
show
was
is
the
about.
second?
Special Victims Unit, like Law and Order.
Oh, yeah. I just couldn't remember what you said.
Ghost in the Shell was about,
It was robots, right? Robots with souls.
yes, it's basically human souls that can be passed on into a machine, and they make basically almost immortal.
Isn't Special Victims Unit about rape? So it's about robots raping you?
It's not necessarily
just
just about
rape.
rape.
Why is that a bad thing? I'm confused.
Robots raping.
sounds
When you don't
amazing.
want to use
No.
your vibrator
No,
and
no,
it
no.
wants to use
You just summed up Paul's worst nightmare. Robots raping people.
How is that your worst nightmare? There's so many worse things out there.
No.
Skynet is a horrible thing, Daniel.
I'm logged into Skynet right now, man.
I refuse to log into his Wi-Fi. It is not connected to my phone.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's gonna kick this door down. I'm here to take it to the future.
I'm really bad at accents. This is why I keep Danny around.
It's not a tumor.
Was the one?
You know what, Dan? I love your crossover, but I think the one we want to see more is robots raping people.
So
That
be
is
like
the one that Paul
iRobot
dreads.
with what was that movie with
With
where the pinball
robot
machine?
chicken with
The Accused.
The Accused
The,
and
robot.
an iRobot.
Oh my
the
God.
robot chicken.
Obnoxious.
Jesus Christ.
It's just like you use your vibrator. Now your vibrator
It's just
uses
like
you.
16 robots banging Jodie Foster on a pinball machine. Dude.
Better her than me.
Best 15
Yes,
minute movie ever.
yes.
Just smashing the pinball machine.
All you see is tilt in the background. We
I
are
saw-
sorry, Jody.
I saw Side Night
I
of
think she won an
Happiness
Oscar
today.
for that. She doesn't
She
care.
did, but I like to swear that movie made her become a lesbian. That movie traumatized her.
Yeah, dude, it would traumatize anybody. If I got banged by
15
16 dudes, I'd be...
Yeah. No, not the robots.
What? I mean, I'm close to that, and I'm still gay.
You're close to getting raped by 15 robots?
Not robots, but dudes, and not rape, but like consensual.
Well, that's not quite the same thing then.
I'm just saying.
Close
You're
to the
saying that like that
same.
made her gay because there were like 16 things inside of her. that
No,
once
what
No,
made her
that's
gay
not.
was
We are
that-
going to move
raping
on.
Yeah, let's
part.
move
We are
on
gonna
before we
move
get
on.
into a discussion we
Yeah.
don't want to
Right. So,
have.
our buddy Rob Ford had a few responses.
It's not rape if they say thank you.
What? Wait, okay. The fangirl is not here to beat your ass. So we're not
No,
gonna
this
address
is
that.
this is a Kim and I thing. This isn't a fangirl thing. Kim and I agreed.
So Rob Ford had a few responses,
I don't know about that.
and his first one that had Kim and I laughing for a long time, which was that it would be a Pee Wee Herman and Ernest P. Worrell road trip film.
Nothing would get accomplished.
Nothing would get done.
That's the most retarded movie that
They would
ever
just
be made.
sit in the house and mess with the couch that talked all the
Yeah.
time. And
They would just fuck shit up, and no, they would never go anywhere.
their bikes
and
would
then
get
Ernest
stolen.
would do 15 different
Thinking about that movie
characters.
gives me a headache. Legitimately gives. I have a pain in the back of my head right now.
This beer is giving me a headache.
You're losing IQ just from thinking about that movie.
Like it would be a mute. The concept of it being made is entertaining.
I don't know. Ernest Goes to Pee-wee's Playhouse has a nice ring to it.
It
Oh my
does.
God.
But if that movie was ever actually made, I would probably just shoot myself.
Say actually like 7 more times.
Actually.
Hey, Jumpy!
Wait, can that be the word?
Yes.
So when it
actually,
gets
it's
said,
the
we all
word of the
scream?
day.
The secret word.
Ah!
So
Mike has to zoom in on his couch, which is falling apart.
So, the next one he recommended would have been, how about an X-Files flick where Mulder and Scully stumble onto MIB and there have their memories wiped at the end?
That would be fucking awesome.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be really
I was
cool.
reading a thing today about actors that hated each other, and Mulder and Scully fucking couldn't stand each other.
They wanted to
She
fuck
looks
each
like a
other, but yet
bitch.
they fucking hated each other.
She
No,
looks
no,
like
you
a
mean,
bitch, dude.
Gillian
Yeah,
Anderson
and the Covenant.
and David
Oh, you mean the
Duchovny.
actors
Yeah,
themselves?
yeah, they couldn't stand
Oh.
each other, especially when she found out that he made twice as much as she did.
Oh.
She was super pissed off.
I
but
don't
she's-
blame her.
Yeah, right?
She said, looking back, she realized that in like every shot where they're walking together, she had to walk behind. I was like, oh man, that's fucked up. But also,
There's nothing
you're like,
wrong with being the co-star, though.
I mean,
But she wasn't the co-star. I think she was just as equal as Duchovny.
she was supporting
I don't know,
cast,
she was a woman, so.
Wow.
and she's fucking ugly.
I don't think
Okay,
she's ugly.
neither of these things have
she
anything
wore
to do
less,
with
she
why
would've been
she
the
should
main
have to
star.
walk behind
Hey,
him.
right.
Why she should get
This
taken.
isn't
Right.
This isn't sexist. If she was better looking than the company, she could have walked in front.
But David
No.
Duchovny's really good looking.
He is
Ridiculously good looking.
ridiculously good looking.
What shitty movie was he in? Was it
Every-
Zoolander or something?
What?
Yes, he was in Zoolander.
Zoolander, that's what
Yeah,
it
and
is.
he was the hand
Hand
model.
model,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's why he made all the money, because he was
He was a hand model.
hand model.
Because he was jacking it on film.
The
On
only other thing
Facebook.
he's been in recently was what, Californication?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the only other thing he's been in.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers video?
No, there's a show called Californication.
he knows.
I knows.
So anyway, the next one would be, and this was a rather long one, but a rat race type style movie where the winners receive a lifetime supply of weed, featuring the competitors Cheech and Chong, Harold and Kumar, and Jay and Silent Bob.
So, okay.
I was like, my thought is, again, nothing would get done. They wouldn't race; they would just sit there and smoke pot.
But you said the winners get it, so they would race because they really want the weed.
But it would be a really slow race because they'd be smoking pot while they're racing.
Well, I'm pretty sure Harold and Kumar would win anyway because they had a cheetah.
Not
you
only
know
that,
what?
but I
And
think
Neil
they're the
Patrick
most
Harris.
together of all those groups.
Halfway through the movie, NP8 shows up, and it's just like, "What's up, guys?" And
And
gets
he
super
steals
stoned.
their Lexus,
Yeah. Gets super stoned and sees himself on a unicorn, and then
Starts
rides
humping-
off into the unicorn.
starts humping the leather chair.
Like, aren't you gay? Shut up, bitch.
And I like that idea, but again, I think Harold and
get
Kumar
some
would win that
trim.
easily because they're the ones who are most together on that. You know, they're not idiots. And they're idiots, but they're not.
You're super
Ma-
idiots.
So that was a
Massively.
great submission. We have figured out the answer to that movie already, though. It's a little too predictable because Harold and Kumar are the shit.
And here's two that I think he submitted just for you because they're Terminator related. But he says, I'll leave you
Everybody
with
hates
two
me.
for Terminator. He says, when I was 5 or 6, I thought the first Predator film was actually a Terminator movie. I remember asking my dad, hey, let's watch the Terminator movie where he's fighting the robot that can be invisible when they're in a jungle. And my dad says, what the fuck are you talking about? But
He's
now I'm
5.
That's actually kind of the greatest explanation I've ever heard of any
But
movie.
now I think it would have been pretty badass if Dutch was a Terminator going one-on-one with a Predator.
Dude, that fight scene would have been so much better than it was. I mean, it was a great fight scene.
Right.
In the first Predator, when he was covered himself in mud and all that other shit.
Yeah. And then at the very end, it's revealed that he's the Terminator as he's fighting. It's like, wow.
You know what I'm thinking would also be kind of a cool Terminator crossover? Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Because they're like in the TV. Terminator and Poltergeist.
Okay, the little girl is in the TV. And then
The spirits are in the TV, motherfucker! And then they take over technology and kill that motherfucker.
Oh, so technology is just people possessing
Or
machines.
spirits?
Spirits possessing machines.
That's what I said. Yeah.
People aren't spirits. Spirits are spirits.
Spirits taking over machines.
Yeah.
Okay. That's basically Ghost in the Shell.
So like that shitty
Versus
movie.
Terminator.
What was that shitty movie where she had to drive all the way out in like the bumblefuck countryside because her cell phone was like trying to kill her or something?
What was it
Oh!
called?
What?
Oh, no,
What?
no. I know what you're talking about.
It was-
Pulse.
Pulse.
It
Oh
was,
my god.
It was actually Kristen Bell.
That was
Yeah.
the worst movie I've ever seen in
it
my
was
life.
Because Kristen Bell was in it.
No, it was about
I don't
You're
mind her.
lucky.
there were spirits inside like cell
Electronics.
towers.
Yeah, dude.
Like and like inside transmissions. And
It
if
was
you
just-
opened up yourself and answered a call, the spirit could come out and kill you.
Holy hell, it was garbage.
It was terrible.
That's a really cool concept, though.
But it was
Yeah.
a fucking awful movie.
They didn't do a good
botched
job
it.
with it, man. It
They
was
basically said the
pretty
only
bad.
place that is safe is somewhere where there's no type of like electricity
So you
or
drive
cell
out
coverage
to where
at
like
all.
the movie Tremors happened.
Yeah. And that's
Drive
what
out to
the end of the movie.
dune.
right.
We just gave you the movie. Oh no, these things are attacking us. Let's drive to Tremors, and that's
And
Right.
then
And then they
credits.
get eaten
a
by
giant worm
worms.
eats her.
Yeah.
She
Like,
stands
well,
that would have
outside.
been a better ending.
No matter where we go.
All right, so the new crossover is Pulse
Pulse
and
and
Tremors. Horrific.
I like that. And the other
Jaws
idea,
and Tremors. Oh my god.
Oh,
Don't go in the water. Don't go on the land.
then by
Stay-
Tremors 3 they start flying. So
Yeah,
it's-
but then and then you get in the plane. Snakes on a plane.
And then it's Piranha, and those things start flying out of the water.
Yeah.
You're in Snakes on a plane and you get hit by a Sharknado.
Oh my god.
I love sci-fi.
Another one he had on here was that when Terminator Salvation was supposed to be the first film in a trilogy, I had a theory. There are many similarities between The Matrix and Salvation. So I thought the conclusion of the trilogy, Skynet will begin to harvest the humans and start plugging them into the Matrix.
Who said this?
Rob Ford.
Fuck you. You heard me say this like 4 years ago. that the easiest way to explain the Matrix
I don't
is
think we were
fucking
doing
Terminator.
this 4 years ago.
No, but I was doing podcasts with that stupid motherfucker. I mean, Mike.
Okay.
And
That's not
I
very
said
nice.
that the easiest way to explain the Matrix to somebody who's never seen it is it's basically the sequel to the Terminator. The robots win, they harvest us, and this is what it is. Now, if you watch the Animatrix, you kind of see how that actually happened.
Right.
But it's not far off.
Okay. But
So-
I don't think Rob heard you say that, though.
Rob's in dark alleys when I walk by them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could just say, congratulations. That was a
He's
very accurate.
What the hell is that guy
Assumption.
from Willy Wonka?
You're that creeper from Willy Wonka.
That creeper guy in the alley.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The guy who turned out to be working for him in the end?
Slugworth.
Yes.
That's his name, Slugworth.
Slugworth.
Slugworth is stalking all of the golden ticket winners. He just happens to be there every time. Like, how the fuck do you know where all the golden tickets
Dude,
are?
if that shit took place in like the hood, that guy would have been shot.
Yes.
Like Wilmington, that guy's so dead.
Allow me to
what
introduce
the fuck
myself.
are you doing hanging
That
out
shit took
underneath
place
a tunnel?
in the real world. It didn't even need to be hood.
He'd be in jail too for being a pedophile, just hanging out under bridges, like saying hi
Stalking
to
little
kids on
kids.
bikes and
Yeah.
shit.
Hey, I've got a golden ticket. You want a golden ticket? Oh, handcuffs.
What the hell was he doing in Germany and all that other?
Anyway, but Rob's final message was, anyway, have a great show and Merry Christmas to all my friends at Threading and Dreading.
Now,
So,
Same to you, my friend.
Thank
we're not-
you, Rob.
I'm
We
not
appreciate
friends
that.
with you.
Hey.
My
Thank you, Rob.
My follow-up question for his though. Now, I've always looked at it as a lead-in, but then could we see Neo or A1 or fucking
Isn't
agents?
John Connor the one?
That works too. The one versus the one. But like Terminators versus fucking like in the Matrix, could we see that shit? Or the one, because he had the abilities outside the Matrix,
Right.
fighting a Terminator. I wouldn't mind that.
I would like to see that.
I wouldn't mind seeing a one, not necessarily Neo, but a one fighting the T-1000.
Okay.
I would be down with that fight. Although that we know of, Neo is the only one who is capable of using his abilities outside the
Right,
Matrix.
right, that
Didn't
too.
T-1000 die very easily in Terminator 2?
No,
I mean, no, they killed
T-1000
him
was...
like 3 times.
Yeah, the T-1000 was pretty fucking hard to kill.
Yeah, he was kind of a dick.
The only way you
then,
could kill him was
melted
dropping
him.
him into the molten metal.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, so that's all you'd have to do. Like,
But
all
where do you have molten
all
metal
Neo
just
would have to
sitting
do
around?
is watch Terminator 2, and he could take care of it.
I always have molten
Yeah, but he'd
metal.
have to take him to like the planet's core,
Yeah.
where there's all
Not
those
the
black people
planet's-
dancing.
It's the Matrix. There's like,
Have you
there's
seen
like
the Matrix?
molten lava.
That's where they party.
Matrix Reloaded.
in the
is-
center
yeah.
of the earth.
Like just outside of it, in the Earth's crust, right
Yeah.
near the center, where it's still warm. Because everywhere else in the world, because it's destroyed, it's cold.
Right.
Wait, which movie was this?
This was
The second
Reloaded, the second
It's
one.
This
destroyed,
is a
the sun
thing, I'm not
doesn't
just
work
I
saying.
anymore.
only saw the first one.
Which is fine.
I'm a huge...
I like how you immediately stick up for her. Oh, it's fine. You always saw the first.
No.
That's because she pretends that she had sex with him.
No, it's because the second and third one are not that good.
I disagree.
I know you disagree.
I have actually.
He
only
looked
seen the
right
first
at me
one
when he
as
said
well.
that. Too. Like he was ready. He was like,
Like, I know. Here it comes.
it's a
So-
solid story.
We have
like
two more. One was submitted through Podomatic Anonymous, which is
Anonymous?
Yeah. It's
Why the fuck are you anonymous? What do you think we're gonna come and beat your ass? We might for being anonymous.
Is that a rhetorical question? Because they're not going to like step forward and say, "It was me. I was being anonymous for this reason."
We're gonna find
They're
your,
clearly
your
from
fucking
New York.
You know what?
username,
Maybe-
and- hold on. And Danny and I are gonna Jay and Silent Bob this list, and we're gonna go to each one of your motherfucking houses. And we're gonna beat your ass on your front step. Danny, you in?
Yeah,
know
I
what,
don't know
Paul?
who Danny is, but I'm,
Maybe this
That's-
person submitted it and just didn't want to be recognized for fear of someone being angry at them like you.
Clearly, this has not worked in his favor.
Okay.
Or her.
Or her.
Yes.
you just made him angrier.
Right. But the submission was, and I have a response for this, it's Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Now, this was actually done.
Yeah, this has already been done.
Right.
There's like 3 actors that this has already been done. You lose.
No.
Anonymous.
But
Don't listen to him.
I would
You're a good
say
person.
this to the person who submitted this. There on YouTube there is a one-time deal they had at Hollywood Studios in Orlando where they pitched a live show combined with Star Wars and Indiana Jones, where Indiana Jones now became Han Solo. And it was directed by these 2 guys who had submitted a fan film to Disney and Lucasfilm.
And that Nazi became one of the fucking Imperial
Right.
like heads.
And this whole live show was fantastic. You really have to see it. It's about 35-40 minutes long, all done live on the Indiana Jones set at Hollywood Studios. It's really, really good. And Lucas actually showed up just to watch it, to see how it was done. And then they had some really good guests come by. That Seth Green come by, and he took part in the show. Oh, I thought you were laughing at Seth Green. That was just a sneeze.
Nope, just sneeze, man.
I like Seth Green. He's cool peoples.
I do laugh at Seth Green, though.
It was a really fun show, so I would recommend that you go and watch that.
Don't.
And we have one more submission through YouTube from Delaware Fisher, which is a combination of Kick-Ass and Super. Now, I have to say
We
that
never got to see Super.
neither did I, but I have to say the universes there could almost be one and the same.
Well, Super was inspired by Kick-Ass.
It was
Is Super versus? That's what it was changed from, right?
No. Super was Ellen Page and I forget the actor's name.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. But I was thinking Versus, which is kind of still along that same line.
It is.
Did Versus ever get released?
It did, but it was a very limited release. I think it's now only like on YouTube or Vimeo or something like that.
We need to find that shit. I
Yeah.
want to watch it.
But yeah, I would like to see those characters combined into one film, but their universes are very similar. It's the universe of, well, there are no superheroes, but we're going to try and be a superhero, and it's going to kind of fail, but then kind of become cool at the end.
Right.
You know? So...
And Versus was along that same line. It was like the aftermath, and
Right.
then they actually ended up having a villain that wanted to kill them all.
Right.
And they went like Arkham City
Right.
on these guys.
But yeah, I would love to see those characters combined into one film. Don't get me wrong.
Go for it.
I just think that it's the same idea being combined. But that's as far as our submissions. So for us, anyone here, do we have a particular movie or television show or series we would like to see combined into one medium? What would we want to see?
I was just thinking. I was trying to think of something.
I
wasn't finished.
I'm sorry. You said you were trying, so I thought you were going to pause.
No, I came up with God of War and Percy Jackson.
I just watched Kratos kill everyone.
Yeah.
Kratos would just destroy that camp.
Everyone. Like, we're protected. Oh! Where'd our camp go?
Yeah.
That'd be fun to watch. I like that.
I would love to watch everybody get slaughtered.
And a couple weeks ago, you had mentioned that you would want to combine her with Terminator.
No. Oh well, yeah. I said
Or The
that
Matrix.
kind of. Yeah. When we watched it.
Or Poltergeist.
Oh my God! You keep bringing it back to Poltergeist.
Poltergeist is a great film. and I
It
love
is, but not everything comes
And
back.
stop complaining about it. This is like the first time I've gone on a Poltergeist rant.
You're bringing up a lot right now.
So?
And you said Buffy and Twilight last time, but I think Buffy and Blade would be better.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking that. Buffy, Blade. Or I think Buffy and Blade, and then the very end would be Blade and Buffy teaming up to kill Edward.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all for that.
I want to see Power Rangers and Pacific Rim.
Nice.
Power Rangers and Pacific Rim.
I'm not sure why you're giving me a face like that's very far-fetched, because it's just giant monsters and robots.
Yes. Just.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, okay.
That's what I
Know
want
what
to see.
you
I
mean.
Well,
wanna
at
see-
first I was just thinking of the Power Rangers outside of their Megazords, and then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, the Megazords. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Power Rangers. And there could be like smaller monsters too. Where they're like trying to like fist fight these like tiny like fucking demi dragons.
Tiny baby monsters.
Demi-Dragon.
And they're like, oh, did you see me punch that baby monster in the face? And then it's like, shut up, you're a yellow girl in a yellow suit, you're racist. Bah.
Wow.
And then they have to like merge minds or souls or genitalia to make the giant robot.
Wait,
It's like-
the robot. I thought you
Yeah.
meant the baby monster.
The merge genitalia for the baby monster. And then at the very end, when they're fighting the teenage monster that's like bigger than the others, but not like a monster, Megazord monster.
Does it have an attitude?
It totally has an attitude. It's all angsty.
Shut up, mom.
Yeah, it's got like a horn that grows over one eye. It's like, no, mom, you can't tell. I'm gonna beat up these guys. You didn't even know. And they put all their weapons together and they kill that shit.
Sounds like a great idea.
I still think that we should make the Pacific Rim parody where we make the monsters celebrities, but Mike says we'll get sued. Apparently, we can't make movies where I make Kim Kardashian and Kanye West a monster that gets killed by a giant robot, but...
South Park can make the Barbra Streisand robot.
Right? We can do that.
It's because they have lawyers and we don't.
We can
I
sacrifice...
have a lawyer. His name's John Goldensteinberger.
Right.
He lives in all
John Golden.
I've watched enough Breaking Bad to know how to illegally do things lawyer-like.
Yeah, Better Call Saul. Yeah.
Right. But fucking Sony can make a movie about killing a world leader. I don't want to kill a world leader. I just want to blow up a Kim Kardashian monster.
We're not gonna touch that with a 50-foot pole.
So I kind of wanted to go to work tomorrow as the Grinch. And people are like, this is a corporate building. Why would you do that?
You mean like
Where the
green paint
hell
all
did that come from?
I have no idea where that came from.
50-foot pole.
Weren't we
29 and a
I
half
got
foot pole.
you.
29 and a
Ah,
half
gotcha.
foot pole. Okay.
The Grinch song. You understood where I was on, right?
Not right away, but
I mean, nobody's right there with me. I move really quick.
So I've been quiet for the last
You
5
have,
minutes, just
yeah.
listening and everything. I was trying to think of my own, like, what would be a really good crossover? And I was like, oh, you know, it'd be funny if I said Freddy versus Jason because it's already been done. And I was like, yeah, but, you know, I could do better than that. And it's like, what if they did, like, Chucky versus the Leprechaun? Because I'm pretty sure that
That would be hilarious.
Oh my God.
everybody would watch that.
I want to watch midgets fight so
Awful.
bad.
It's so good. Like, they're just pissed off because one keeps killing all the other people. Oh, my God. And there's, like, rainbows and butterflies and shit.
Can the sequel be... what is it? What was it? Chucky versus Leprechaun versus Ewoks?
Like, I don't know if the
they're-
Ewoks would...
they're peaceful.
I just want to see a
teddy
bunch of
bears.
midgets fight. I don't give a shit.
Well, you could do, like, what was that movie from...
Why can't
with
they be
Val
Oompa
Kilmer?
Loompas?
Oh, yeah, they can be Oompa Loompas.
Val Kilmer.
What was the one with Val Kilmer back in the 80s?
Which one?
Willow?
Oh, yeah,
yes. Willow.
Do you remember Willow?
I used to have cereal bowls that had Willow.
That wouldn't work, though, because Willow is Leprechaun.
Right.
It's the same actor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember his name.
Well, they could
Something
redo,
Warwick.
like... What was
What
that?
is
The
it?
Dark Crystal?
Something Warwick.
You're
Yeah,
right,
that's
it
the
is
actor's
something
name,
Warwick,
yeah.
but I can't...
I don't remember the first part.
Mini-Me
Is
could
it the
be in it.
D?
Oh, Vern Troyer.
I think you're thinking of Dionne Warwick.
I might be, but his last name really is Warwick.
Okay, you brought up Dark Crystal. What about it?
Well, there were midgets in that. I mean, he was a puppet most of the time, but sometimes it was a little girl playing him.
Which was this?
Dark Crystal?
You ever seen the Dark Crystal? It was
I've-
it was a Jim Henson movie back. In
I haven't
the
seen it either,
late
but-
80s,
Henson.
yeah.
Is it It's
Henson.
His name
puppetry
is
then.
Yeah.
Jim
So,
Henson.
okay, yeah.
Henson?
But
Yeah.
You said
sometimes...
Hanson.
Sorry.
Yeah, he wasn't in that band.
Jim Hansen.
He was their dad.
Okay. Bop.
You know, he was their grandfather because Brian Henson is
You're right,
Jim
right.
Henson's son.
Right.
It was actually Warwick Davis.
There we go. See, I had
Not Dionne Warwick.
I had the D part and I had the Warwick part.
Yeah,
So
you
if
had the
Warwick
G part
Davis and
already.
Dionne Warwick
Confused.
got together, it'd be Warwick.
I want to see that crossover.
I want to see Taylor Lautner and Taylor... No, never mind. That didn't work.
That's
Nobody
the
wants to see
same
that.
name.
No.
That woman would be too beautiful. Obviously be a woman, right?
And Danny's head would just explode. Too much pretty.
Pretty much
Does
just
anyone
Taylor
else
Swift as a
have,
vampire.
Any ideas for crossovers?
So here's a crossover I didn't realize. Angela is a character from Spawn. She's an assassin
Love Spawn.
who sometimes works with Spawn, sometimes tries to kill Spawn.
Okay.
Recently, she jumped companies and is now in Marvel and is the same character. Not like, oh, they redid her in another universe. She's the same character. She came to the Marvel universe. She's Thor's sister. She's an assassin for Asgard.
That's kind of cool.
How the fuck does that happen?
I mean,
Wait, can you just can can they just trade characters, like just buy them from another company?
I guess.
Michael
That
Jai White
raises
probably
so
had
many
something to do with that.
questions.
And you fucking Asgard, like Heimdall, open this gate to here, and she just goes off to fucking kill demons with Spawn. So that's a crossover, and that's fucking awesome. Who's that guy with the chainsaw hand?
Ash?
Ash.
Yeah, they brought him into Marvel. To fight into Marvel Zombies, to fight zombies.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, that was actually a crossover they did. They did Freddy versus Jason versus Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
And what was that comic that you told me where some chick assassin?
Oh, Hack
fights-
Slash.
Yeah,
Hack
where she
Slash
fights
is
fucking
amazing.
Chucky,
You would-
right?
Yeah, you would love this. There is a comic series in Image called Hack Slash, which is about this girl named Cassie Hack and her buddy Vlad, who's basically like a Jason type, going
Who
around.
doesn't want a buddy named Vlad?
Yeah.
Dude, he's Russian. He can probably like eat my car.
I still want to be friends with Ragnar Borholsen.
But they go around.
Come here, Ragnar Borholsen.
Right?
They go around killing slashers
male
for a living,
vocalist,
like any
or
slasher,
Buffy
you
the
know,
Man.
like that you've seen
Oh.
from popular films. They go around just killing them. Now they're made up in this comic because they have to get licenses for stuff. But the creators of Chucky loved Hack Slash so much that they did a crossover with them. So in the middle of this comic, all of a sudden Chucky just pops out of nowhere and has a massive fight with Cassie Hack. I'm like, holy crap! And then they combine it with like the Reanimator and like some other properties. I'm like, holy shit! This comic is amazing. It's like it's crossing over with all these classic horror films. I'm like, this is so cool. It's this girl going out and killing every like major horror villain of all time.
That sounds really good. Is there? Did you guys during Halloween, since I wasn't really around for this, did you guys have like a who's the best slasher?
No, we actually didn't have a horror. A
Halloween special.
We did not have a Halloween special this year.
Well, can I raise the question? Who's your favorite slasher? Since we're on the topic anyway, or is
Sure.
that kind of something we should
Okay.
blow by the wayside?
Well, when you
When you say slasher,
I can go first if
oh
you'd
sure,
like.
go ahead.
By far, my favorite slasher, Michael Myers. He has just always been the scariest. He's always been the creepiest.
Well, you could say
and he's been the most fierce.
some could contend he was the original.
He is.
So,
So,
well,
it's
some
1979. Halloween
yeah.
came out.
Well, Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out just before that, so you
It's
could
like 77.
yeah,
It's
and
like
you
one-
could say Leatherface was, but Leatherface was just insane. You know, he was
just
he was
brutal.
just a nut job. Yeah.
Michael Myers.
Michael
was
Myers
just a
had
fucking
evil.
he
man,
had
dude.
yeah he
He
had
was legitimately evil. That's what he called him. Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
Not Donald
Yeah.
Sutherland.
the pleasant.
He said he is evil.
Yeah, evil
Yeah.
incarnate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has presence about him. You can be scared of Leatherface. Everyone's gonna be scared of anyone wielding
Yeah, but
a
I can
chainsaw.
outrun that motherfucker. He's, all
He's kinda
out of shape
big.
and stuff.
You can't fucking outrun Michael Myers.
No, because he'll just find you
Yeah,
eventually.
he's
anyway.
he'll
He'll
walk
just
slow
walk
and just
and
find
he will-
you.
He'll
He
steal
knows
a
where
cop
you're
car.
going.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I'd give that response as well.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are going to say Freddy just because of his presence. you
Well,
know?
that's the thing. You got to develop a presence if you're going to be a slasher.
Right.
You can't just like a terrible slasher, for instance, would be like what was that? One Missed Call or something like where it's just like a shitty movie they made for like one person. That's not
let's,
really.
like not My Bloody Valentine. No,
My
My Bloody Valentine.
He wasn't
Yeah.
that bad, but it was like a one-time thing, and I
Yeah.
mean they redid it in 2009.
Yeah, something like
2008
that,
or
yeah.
something like that. But
With Jensen Ackles.
yeah.
that
That guy.
My Buddy Valentine 3D.
Yeah.
You say that guy?
I can say that guy.
Oh.
we were talking about
I
how we
did say
thought the
that
best
guy.
slasher
You know
was.
who?
Yeah.
You know who I would say? If it wasn't Michael Myers, it would be Pinhead.
Pinhead is,
Pinhead isn't a
brutal.
slasher.
No, I would
but
consider
he's
him a
brutal.
slasher.
He's a
But his films became slasher-like.
But it's not just him. There's like 3 other.
The Cenobites.
there's
yeah.
like 9 of them.
Yeah, but
Whatever. 3, 9.
he's
It's a odd number.
otherworldly. He is basically a god. He can
Right.
just fuck with you nonstop if
that's
he so
not a
chose.
slasher.
And he can fuck you nonstop.
Yeah, he
Right.
could. We have
Demon
so
sex.
much pleasure to show you.
Let's
So
do it.
creepy, dude.
Legs in the air. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
We have such sights.
I'm kind of, usually I make the most point to disagree with Mike, but I'm kind of going to go with when I think of a slasher, I think of somebody human. Even even Jason, I consider a slasher. He's human. I wouldn't consider Pinhead a slasher. I would consider him a god. But I'm with you on Mike Myers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would.
that was my thing.
Everyone's going Mike Myers.
So
Okay.
far, Kim, what do you think? Or devil goddess? I don't remember your fucking name.
Goddess
Whichever.
of Gore.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Hey Kim, you could just assimilate and be like everybody else.
Do you want to fit in?
Just peer pressure.
Join the cool club.
Too much pressure.
Yeah, just agree with us
Mike
and then
Myers,
do
Mike
your
Myers,
heroin,
Mike Myers, Mike
and then we can
Myers.
get back to the show.
This is just a side
We're
topic.
gonna
damn it.
get
It's
into
only
the
supposed-
we're gonna get into the
Yeah.
trailers right after this, but you go ahead.
Kim won't take her heroin.
I think that's a good answer. I'd have to. Yeah, we'll go with that. Because Michael Myers has always scared me. I watch that movie every Halloween, and it scares
I can
the
I
shit
can
out
watch
of
it
me,
every
so-
time. The original one, I can watch it every time. Even the Rob. I was gonna say Scream was my second.
Oh, Ghostface.
Yeah, Ghostface was my
Strangers.
second. Strangers was pretty good.
Strangers is the
Do you
one
like
of
the-
the most recent movies.
Do you like the original or the
Was there original?
I think
an
there was an
original?
original Strangers movie.
Was there?
That came
No,
out in the
th- th-
70s.
this- it was inspired by several films, but Strangers was an original.
Well,
property.
Strangers was inspired by the Manson murders,
Right.
and when the director or the writer was a child, there was a night he remembered where somebody was going door to door asking for somebody who didn't live wherever he was, and or no, there was a string of robberies where people were doing that. So he combined the two together. That movie scared the shit out of me because it's all the shit that could actually happen. It's
Yeah.
like, give me like
Yeah.
a fucking giant hell demon with the greatest graphics eating my entire fucking city, and I'm just like, that was fucking gorgeous.
Oh, this sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, but give me like one guy or three people who torment Liv Tyler, and what's his fuck, and then just Liev Schreiber, was it?
No, it was
No.
the guy's son who was.
It's really not important.
All I
'cause
remember
he
is
died.
that Dennis was in it. Dennis was the brother.
Dennis was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that got blasted by the shotgun.
Right.
Dennis
That
got shot in the
sucked.
face because
Poor
he
Dennis.
wasn't wearing a mask. That. I mean, they only did it once.
Was it Superman from the
No.
TV show?
No.
No.
No, he's something James Caan's son.
Oh
That is-
yeah.
That he's in like
I can see his face now.
Hawaii 5-0
And I
or
don't know his
something right
name.
now.
I was thinking Liev Schreiber.
I'll
I
bring
was
it on
thinking
IMDb.
Liev Schreiber was the dad in Omen.
Omen wasn't
Oh,
bad
the
either.
new
We are
Omen.
digressing so bad
we're
right
getting
But
now.
anyway,
really far.
speaking of
This is
things
how we
that
do it,
like
man.
real life, like we
White van.
yeah, the white red van.
White van.
White
No,
van
the,
with New York
um,
license plate.
the
Scott Speedman.
Scott Speedman.
that guy. Yeah, he looks like the other guy.
He was he was the guy from Underworld.
Let her finish your
I'm
thought.
sorry, he was the guy from Underworld.
Yeah, he was. He
He
was
was
Yeah.
the
Michael
other.
from Underworld.
Right.
He was
Michael.
Corvinus. Michael Corvinus.
Michael
I
Corvinus,
don't know.
right? That's his
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
Corvette.
The
Yeah, I remember that,
movie-
but I couldn't remember who the fuck he was in this movie.
Michael's.
God, I love Underworld.
the Poughkeepsie tapes.
Yes.
movie,
Oh
that
my
guy.
gosh.
I
That,
only
and the
knew-
movie itself
Oh.
wasn't great, but it was just the whole like
What is that?
Oh my gosh. We need to watch that sometime.
I
That
only know
slasher
Poughkeepsie
was
as
terrifying.
a code name in Supernatural.
oh,
Uh,
it's a city in New York.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
In
it's,
Supernatural, they use it as a code, like when you're ready. They're like, "Oh yeah, you need to get out of Poughkeepsie and get here." And they're like, "Oh,
okay.
it's time to fucking roll."
But no, Poughkeepsie Tapes was this guy who basically used a really crappy camera, some sort of video camera of some sort.
Like a
from-
Super 8.
Almost lower quality than Super 8.
Christ,
But
that lower quality than
going
Super 8?
around
He fucking
and
cranked that shit.
going
Look at the
around
words.
and committing murders and always recording them and with this in his hand. So every murder you see is point of view.
Yeah.
But it's fucking disturbing.
We like
But
to call that POV.
What I said.
Not point
in
of
the
view.
biz.
So was it Italian?
No, it was American.
Because you were saying
Regular.
that Italian horror movies are like crazy fucking disturbing.
they
well,
are.
they're
They are.
gory. They have
Right.
a lot of
No, Japanese horror movies.
Japanese and
are gory.
Korean.
Japanese horror movies
Yeah.
just involve a lot of tentacles.
No,
And
no,
tits.
that is hentai. That is not the
That's
same
not
thing.
It all fucking crosses. It's all crossover.
That can be horrific, but it's not a horror.
Japanese horror always becomes hentai.
Oh my god.
How does that movie
On
end?
that
I don't
note-
know. There was an octopus. No. On that note, so who's your one?
Oh yes.
I couldn't think
Oh,
of
it's
any
been a
more.
Full
while
circle,
now.
bitch.
I know. I
You better
really
hurry
have
up,
been
or you're gonna
trying.
get stuck with Eliza. How do you
It's
pronounce
gonna be
it?
like
Disco?
Ryan
Disco.
Reynolds or what?
I
Wait, what's the
ha-
other
no,
guy? What's the
she
other guy
I
needs
from
to
the
can't
have
pick
a
a
girl.
guy. I have to pick a
Oh
girl.
wait, that's right. Yeah.
Because she has a vagina, right?
Sorry, I forgot what game we were playing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
All right,
Do you want to steal one of Karen's and say Kristen Bell?
Nobody wants Kristen Bell.
Karen
Karen
wants
does.
Kristen Bell.
That's
And
the
Karen will
weirdest
f-
obsession.
Karen
Never
will
mind. I
fuck
like
you up.
Lenny
She's
Kravitz.
Chinese. She's probably a ninja.
I'll step off.
Like, she can't drive or do math, but she could probably beat your ass.
Oh my god.
No, she can do math.
No, she can't.
She's Asian.
I know.
Doesn't make any sense.
I know. She also can't drive.
But that goes with
That
the
does make
stereotype.
sense.
I know. I know.
Okay.
For women, too.
All right, are we on the fucking trailers
Let's go
now?
to the trailers.
We have.
All right.
Oh my god.
We want an answer
Before-
by the end of the podcast.
Before
All
we
right,
end, you have
okay.
to have a vagina to lick.
Oh my god.
Well,
Well, she doesn't have to. We're not getting into that. Go on.
thank you
Michael.
guys for all your submissions. There were some really good crossover ideas in there, so thank you guys for those.
They were
Did you
really
just
good.
read that from a script?
No.
No.
Mike actually doesn't care about any of this. He just wrote that down because he knew that it
No!
was nice to say.
There was a legitimate thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you to everybody that
Thank
submitted.
you.
They were
Yeah.
really
So,
good ideas.
moving on to our trailers. The first one being Inside Out.
Riley, I do not like this new attitude.
Oh, I'll show you attitude, old man. No, breathe.
What is your problem? Just leave me alone.
Sir, reporting high levels of sass.
Take it to DEFCON 2.
DEFCON 2.
I don't know where this disrespectful attitude came from.
You want a piece of this, Pops?
Yeah, well,
Prepare the foot.
Keys to safety position. Ready to launch on your command, sir.
just shut up!
Fire!
That's it. Go to your room.
The foot is down. The foot is down. Woo!
Good job, gentlemen. That could have been a disaster.
Well, that was a disaster.
I am really looking forward to this.
Genius.
Yes.
Absolute genius, dude.
This movie looks.
I thought this was
Great.
great, man.
I love that Pixar is finally getting back into original properties, because for the last few years, ever since Brave, everything has been a sequel
Girl,
or a
girl,
spin-off.
girl with long hair, girl with red hair.
Right? Yeah.
I like what they're doing now, man. I think
Wasn't
this
Pixar-
is a really
wasn't
cool
Brave
idea. It's a
Disney?
look into inside,
Was it both?
like the human mind. You know,
Right.
It's pretty cool. And all the voices. I don't know if you guys like IMDb'd all the voices.
Yes.
But there are just so much.
There's
There's so
some
much talent on
really
this movie.
good voice cast in this. So, before I get into the directors and all that, but a voice cast, we have Amy Poehler as Joy, Lewis Black as Anger. Which
Really?
I'm going to say,
God,
if you're
so out
going
of
to get
character.
Lewis
someone
Black.
as the physical incarnation as Anger, it's Lewis Black.
That was good.
Christ.
Yeah. Mindy Kaling as Disgust.
Kaling, I think
Or
is what.
Kaling, yeah, Mindy Kaling.
Who?
Mindy?
She has a show on.
The little Indian girl?
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate her.
Why she got to be little?
Well, she's
Is that
Disgust.
the wrong stereotype to think? Okay.
Bill Hader is Fear,
Bill Hader is Fears.
and Phyllis Smith as Sadness.
Who?
Phyllis Smith. I've seen her before. I think she did a couple of comedy roasts on Comedy Central. But
that's Phyllis Diller.
no, not Phyllis Smith. Phyllis Smith. And Diane Lane is playing the little girl's mother.
She's like the lead in this movie.
the mother.
I'm like Diane Lane's like a fucking 100. Like
She's
we
not
need
that
somebody good for this role. How's
need
Diane Lane doing?
We need somebody in a turtleneck right now.
But as far as
Has
that
she
voice,
done anything since Murder at 1600?
I have to say I love that voice cast, and again, I cannot stress enough. If you're going to get someone as the physical representation of anger, you're going to get Lewis Black.
That's why I think this movie
He
is
is the
actually going
angriest
the
man
distance.
alive, and I love him
Yeah.
for it.
So Mike wants them to do a fucking Darkest Night movie, and he doesn't care who actually plays Atrocicus. He just wants Lewis Black to do the voice.
You mean Blackest Night?
What did I say?
Darkest Night.
You said like Darkest
doesn't
Black or
matter.
something.
No,
weird.
Darkest Night is a
Black
thing.
is dark.
Darkest Night is when
You said
Batman
Blackabarker.
becomes Green Lantern.
That's just not even
What's that?
English.
Darkest Night is when Batman becomes Green Lantern.
All right, that's a better movie. As
I
long
want to
as
see
it's-
that crossover
As long as it's
It
Michael
exists.
Keaton.
in a movie.
The only person I will accept as future Batman is Michael Keaton.
So the director of this is Pete Docter, and
His last name is Doctor.
Doctor.
Is he Indian?
He's the Doctor.
No, he's the Doctor.
Which Doctor is he?
He has been associated with a lot of Pixar properties, but he actually directed Monsters Inc. and Up,
Yeah,
which are two of
two
my
of the
favorite
best films ever,
Yeah, from
dude.
Pixar. Yeah,
There's
I would-
no way this movie is gonna bomb. This movie's gonna be fantastic.
This has everything going for it.
Yeah.
It really does.
It's
It
got
has.
the
wanna
cast,
see
it's
more
got the
than the breakfast
directors,
scene.
it's got the company backing, and it's got that trailer was just like genius, man.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It had me on board almost right away.
I know. Like, I love the interactions with and it's the whole idea of inside everyone's head there are 5, physical representations of your feelings.
Can I
that
bring
are-
up one negative about this movie?
Sure,
that
that's fine.
if it's anything like the trailer, it may get confusing to children because they jumped around real quick between like the feelings in the mom's head to the feelings in the dad's head, and I feel like it might get not that it's going to take away from the humor for the kids because kids laugh at fucking anything, but I feel like it might get a little confusing to be like, all right, wait, who the hell?
I was personally
said
confused
that?
why all of mom's emotions were female, all of dad's emotions were male, and the little girl's emotions were mixed.
That
think
point
that's
has been
the
raised
point.
already. I think that's because
That little girl's transgendered?
No, I think what they're trying to say is that early on.
Why are you mad? That'd be more groundbreaking shit, man.
You don't need groundbreaking shit. The movie's already groundbreaking.
not
Just let it
groundbreaking.
happen.
They did this shit in Schoolhouse Rock.
House of Rock.
Not House of Rock.
School of Rock.
Not School. This is Jack Black. What were you saying, Mike?
Another good crossover. Jack Black and Jack White do an album together. I think it'd be fantastic. Let's move on.
Yes. Okay, moving on.
I would listen to that. It could be called the Grey Album.
love that.
Oh, peak.
I just love the directions we go in this podcast. We can go from Inside Out to fucking Jack White and Jack Black in a heartbeat.
Doesn't take much, man.
The Black Stripes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's so good. They're such a good band.
Anyway,
Yeah, moving on.
so I get what you're saying with that, but I believe the majority of this film is going to be focused mainly on the little girl's emotions, not the parents' emotions.
Well, that's what they tend to do with Pixar stuff. They tend
right.
to
Yeah,
stick with the
Pixar,
children.
they
Monsters
totally
Inc.
focus on
obviously.
little girls.
Up was a lot of Russell's perspective.
Right.
And the dog.
And the dog.
That's my only fear with the movie is that it might
Right.
jump around a lot trying to take in everybody's account because you got
Right.
that's way too many characters, for
This
a
is
2-minute
true.
trailer.
This is true. And to
I
res-
just want to see. I think the trailer's really well done, and it looks intriguing. I want to see what the next trailer is. I want to see what the actual
Agreed.
story of the
Agreed.
of the movie is.
Yeah, because this was just the first trailer for those who didn't see it was just mom, dad, and
Little dog.
Riley. Her name.
Yeah,
is,
Riley, just
at the-
having dinner.
at the
Right.
dinner table, and them just having a typical family
Spat.
spat.
Right.
We'll call it. Yeah.
And to respond to what you're saying, as far as her emotions being mixed, I believe what it is that as you age, your emotions become more like you. And when you're really young, your emotions are out of control. And, they are basically their own personality. So
They haven't
Maybe
developed
become,
yet.
They haven't developed
maybe
yet,
they
right.
become more polarized as you get older.
Exactly.
So, can I raise the question then? How
Yeah.
old do we think Riley is?
I
in
would
the trailer?
say 6, 7.
Yeah, I was going with about 8.
I was gonna aim at 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
so she's somewhere between 6 and 100.
Yeah. That's it.
What we know is that she's not fetal and she has a pulse,
She isn't the adult and she isn't a baby.
Right.
and that's where we're at.
Right. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. The animation looks stellar. The comedy is
It
actually
did.
quite good. And
It's typical Pixar. It's gonna blow everybody out of the water, man.
Well, no, typical Pixar as of late has not been that good. Typical
Sorry, it's typical
old school Pixar.
old school Pixar. That's a
right,
good way to say it.
Right. And I hope they get back to what they were making.
Yeah,
Not
'cause
just
everything they put out back in the late 2000s or the late 2010s,
right.
2009, around that area.
Right.
Was
Well,
just genius,
everything
man.
up until they started making Cars 2
Well, I
was
think-
really good.
I think they got ahead of themselves and they were like, "Oh, people really like this. We got to do another one."
Well,
Or
yeah, I
people
mean,
really like
everything's
this. We
about
got to do
marketing.
something that's exactly
money,
the same.
Money.
Like you don't have to do that, man.
that's
Just
when
keep being
Disney-
innovative and bringing out these movies. Like this is innovative.
Right.
It's a genius way of looking at a movie.
And I think as far as innovation goes and doing movies like Cars and Planes and whatever else they fucking do, they need to do things, and this is just devil's advocate, but they need to do those things that might not be fucking good, but they know they're going to make money so that they can do the things that are going to count.
people
Right,
are
and-
going to
yeah,
see
and-
Pixar regardless.
Right,
They're-
and that's a fair contention. But even if they cash in on those things that they know are going to bring in the crowd, they can still write them well. For example, Toy Story 3. That was a cash, and people want to see more Toy Story, but it was still written well.
Right,
you know?
right.
they
And
took
I-
their time with that.
And
Right,
I agree
exactly.
with that, but I think, and I'm not, you know me, I'm all about the story.
Right.
I think that every now and again, to say like, look, we need to do this. I mean, You're playing a video game. You need a little extra experience. You go and do those little nothing missions so you can get that little extra experience so you could do the big explosive thing. I think every now and again they're doing something that they know is going to be big. They need a little extra something, so they release something that costs less money they know
Like
will make a shit ton.
Planes, fire, and rescue.
Right. and they say, look, we know this is going to make money because we're going to bank off the cars, the cars kids, and it's not going to take a lot of money to fucking do this because we already have the tech. We already have all of this shit going on. Just fucking give that car wings. And, I mean... Oh my god!
What just happened?
She almost elbowed me in the face.
She just ate
What
the
just
microphone.
happened.
A spider in front of you? What just happened?
There was some kind of bug.
I almost died.
Oh yeah,
It's the middle of the winter. How's there a bug in here?
There's a piece of dust, and she freaked out,
My-
elbowed Paul in the face, and ate her microphone.
My whole life flashed before my eyes. All right,
Sorry.
I saw Mila Kunis and
bears.
Bears.
And that
then
was about
Skynet.
it.
That was it. And Skynet. And the bombs dropped. And skeletal robots. That's all I saw. Skeletal robot bears drinking Jim Beam. It's awful. They had Mila hostage.
Paul's fever dream
Five
right there.
Nights at Freddy's.
Oh my god, Five Nights at Freddy's right there.
But I'm intrigued by this movie. I just want to see another trailer.
Me
I just want
too.
to get a feel of what it is going to be.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's not due out for at least another 5 or 6 months. I think it's due out this summer. So we'll see another trailer. We may end up discussing another trailer. We'll do a revisit
I
for
think
it.
so, man, because I think this trailer was just very specific to this actual scene.
Right.
So you're like, all right, I'm intrigued. And
Right.
then they throw another one at you, and you're like, oh, now I'm more intrigued because
Or
it's
less. We don't know yet.
got. Yeah, well, hopefully more intrigued because it looks
Hopefully.
good.
Right,
Man.
we will see. So the next one up we have is San Andreas.
I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to get out. And I mean now. Because even though this is happening here in California, you will feel it on the East Coast. Everybody down!
My first thought.
Go right ahead.
Oh look, The Rock in a big truck. Like,
My
this
first
is
thought,
every Rock movie I've ever seen.
The Rock in a big truck at 2014.
That was my first thought, dude.
2014.
My first thought was, okay, it's another big catastrophe melodrama in L.A. It's Volcano. It's fucking
I was
Volcano.
thinking,
Now, did you get that from the
2012.
trailer? Because I don't know if I picked up on that from the trailer.
Well, if you take out the whole lava aspect of it, it's basically.
Oh,
the
you
movie
mean the movie Volcano from like '96 with
Yeah.
fucking
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
and Anne Heche.
At the same time, they released that and Dante's Peak.
Yeah.
Right.
What a year!
I still love Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak's
Oh, yeah.
great, dude. James Bond is
Right.
fucking the
I
hero
know.
driving that SUV.
And don't get me wrong.
Grandma jumping into the lava and just
Oh
melting.
my god, the
Oh,
kid has
sorry,
to point out
bye.
everything obvious.
Well, she's
Right.
Mom,
dead.
all the squirrels are dead. Mom, the fish are dying. Mom, grandma's
Don't
legs
wait
got
up here,
acid
dummy.
burn.
Come with us.
Why don't you jump in the hot water and just
Here's the thing.
swim for a bit, little honey?
I didn't hate the movie Volcano,
I
but
loved it.
just became such a melodrama towards the middle and end. It's just like everything became so damn depressing.
I feel
was
like it.
I'm sorry, did you want something happy to happen while the volcano was
No,
killing
but
everybody?
I wanted to be able to be enjoyable. I want to be able to enjoy what's happening.
I know
Halfway
what
through the movie, Mike just wants a clip of puppies playing.
I know what you're saying. I think it took it. That's when disaster movies take a turn for the worse. That's what happens. Like you start out, everybody's happy. This is my happy life, or this is my shitty life, as War of the Worlds started
Right,
out. You
right,
know, it's
right,
like this
right.
is my shitty life.
Mike
But
only-
it always
uh,
starts out that
Daniel
way,
just got married, so we're not sure where he's at yet.
and then it goes into this is the shitty thing that's happening to us right now.
Right.
It doesn't get better until the very
but
end.
it
and
still
that's the way
takes
they
time
go.
occasionally to show good things or some funny things.
It did
But
show
funny
good things.
and good
when
things
no, it
happen.
didn't. Volcano never
stopped
did.
it.
But
and
Volcano and things
the-
like that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kim.
It's all right. Go ahead.
No, you do it.
The I'm just saying the good. They good part was they stopped the lava flow, and then the
Oh,
firefighter
that
and
bullshit
the black
MythBusters
guy.
lava flow? Yeah.
Well, that aside.
Concrete blocks.
yeah, that would never fucking happen.
When they decided not to arrest the guy and they went to help his neighborhood,
Right.
that was the good part.
That was one moment.
Well, there
For
you
the
go.
entire last half of the film, and everything
True.
else was just
But
melodrama.
I think that's kind of something you have to do when you're making a movie about a disaster. You can't throw in comic relief.
Let me give you a good example. Independence Day.
Independence Day had Will Smith. It
Wait.
didn't matter what the fuck you were doing.
Independence
It was
Day
going to
was
have
a
comedy
comedy.
relief.
Okay, but it was a disaster movie.
No, it wasn't.
I don't think Independence Day was a disaster movie.
I think it was.
I think it was
alien
simply
movie.
a blockbuster, and that was the point of it. Was
Okay.
just to be a.
Well, we
But I
digress.
see what you're saying. I do.
Yeah.
I totally see what you're saying. But when you have a disaster movie,
You need
other than
disastrous things to
Independence
happen.
Day, because Independence Day is the best film of all time, I will watch that movie until I die. You can't steer away from the bad. It takes away from how bad the bad actually is.
Danny, I can't wait
Yeah.
till your deathbed because you're not gonna be able to fight it,
Thanks.
and I'm gonna put Howard the Duck on.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
gonna be
gonna.
the last thing you ever.
I'm
see.
gonna haunt you so much. It's gonna be ridiculous. But yeah,
Every so often in your night, you're just gonna get a punch across your face. Oh, Danny was here.
I'm gonna try to go to bed. I'm just gonna hear Howard the Duck.
I'm gonna shit in your mouth every night, dude. Every night, dude.
What are you choking on? Ghost poo.
I will say the one good thing about that movie, Paul fucking Giamatti.
Yeah.
He is one of my favorite actors, and I think he'll save that movie.
Oh yeah. Except that every time I see him, I can't help it. I see the orangutan from Planet of the Apes, and I'm just like, God, they could not have picked a better person to be an orangutan.
Paul Giamatti is awesome. The only thing I ever regret him being in was
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
no, what the hell was that shitty movie?
Lady in the
Frankie
Water.
Muniz.
I know what you're talking about.
Agent-
Was it
My
Blank Check?
Big fat
Oh.
liar.
No, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Big fat liar.
Yeah,
no,
that
paycheck was
that was something another kid.
It was.
No, I was thinking Lady in
that
the
guy,
Water.
The
yeah.
chick.
I know.
She was pretty
You obviously
hot.
haven't seen Lady in the Water, which I think was far worse than that.
I heard Lady in the Water was god awful.
It is
that was
fucking
a
terrible. M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan
Yep.
movie.
My mom
Yeah.
liked that movie, and I watched it, and I lost all respect for my mother. I was like, I didn't
M.
even
Night
finish this
Shyamalan
movie.
just doesn't excite me anymore. Sorry.
Let's get back on this trailer.
Yeah, get on this
So,
one.
the director of this is Brad Payton, and his lineup of work is not that good. He has directed Cats and Dogs 2 and Journey 2, The Mysterious Island, which
so
again,
he does sequels.
yeah, sequels, which again was something starring The Rock.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
Tooth Fairy.
he's worked with this guy before, but this guy's track record is not that very good. But in this cast, we do have obviously Dwayne The Rock Johnson. We also have Carla Gugino, I think is pronounced her name.
Oh my god, that chick was, dude. That was the girl from oh my god, like the '80s movies.
Yes, but she was also in Sin City and Sucker Punch.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking.
Dark hair. I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
She's been in a lot. She's kind of like that woman. It's like, oh yeah, I know what she's been in, but she's never like the lead actress. Well, here she is, the lead actress finally. We also have Alexandria Daddario, who you may know from the Percy Jackson movies. And she was also in
I was like, that girl's face looks really familiar.
right. She was from Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
And then she was also in True Detective in a couple of the early episodes.
Just an FYI, Carla Gugino has been like in 84 different things.
Yeah, she's been in a lot.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, she's been in a lot. She is working. She's like, compared to someone, she's like the Samuel Jackson of films. She's just
she's in
working.
like all these,
Samuel
and she was
Jackson
in
is
Faster
films.
with The Rock.
What?
The movie
Samuel
Faster.
Jackson
She was
is
in
the
that
Samuel
with the.
Jackson of films.
Holy shit, dude! She is in
He's in
everything with The
films.
Rock.
I think he meant maybe
No,
female.
the
version.
female version. Stay with me.
You need to specify that. The female Samuel Jackson is what you should have said.
Film.
She was in Faster with The Rock. She was in Race to Witch Mountain with The Rock.
She's been with The Rock a lot, apparently.
Jesus Christ.
Woof.
But as far as this, yeah, we also have Paul Giamatti.
Who's the man, dude?
yeah,
That's the
I
saving
love him,
grace
yeah.
of this movie, in my opinion.
I have to say, I don't know what to feel about this. I mean, it looks like just another generic, destroy
End
the
of
world
the-
film. And you brought
Yeah.
up 2012. That's a very good comparison.
Yeah.
2012 was moronic. It had great
I fell
special
asleep.
effects, but it was dumb as hell.
Fell asleep
I
during that movie. Actually,
love fucking Cusack, and that movie sucked so much rectum.
Cusack
Yes.
is awesome. Identity is one of my favorite movies of all
It's
time.
Oh no,
so
I love
great.
Identity.
That
But
movie he did in
that
the
movie
hotel,
was
what
awful.
Was that? 13,
1408.
1408?
1408.
I liked 1408.
With,
It's fucking baller.
Who's the other actor in that?
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel
Jackson,
Yeah.
Of course.
He's in
Of course it
everything.
was.
He's the Samuel L. Jackson of movies.
Samuel L. Jackson is the Samuel L. Jackson.
But as far as this goes, the one effect of like the ground rolling through LA, that was an amazing effect.
Yeah.
And you know, I was like, I can't wait to see this movie. I'm probably going to be shit, but it's going to look great.
I
It
did
looks
think
like
that
it's
it was
probably
almost
written like
comedic.
shit.
It was almost Paul Giamatti's whole thing of, they're going to feel this on the East Coast. And I was
Yeah.
like, shut up.
We're
And
gonna
you're
feel
like,
this
dun,
slight.
dun, dun.
We're gonna feel this slight little rumble.
Of course they will. It's 3,000 fucking miles away, and there's an earthquake happening. Like
Like I said, we're just going to be walking, and all of a
removes the
sudden Mike's
road.
boobs are going to jiggle, and we're going to be like, oh my God, there was an earthquake in California.
Oh my
this
God, we lost
earthquake
California.
removes the road from California. Of course you're gonna feel it 3,000 miles away.
But
Did
you-
anybody see Mike's boobs jiggle? We're pretty sure we lost California. Somebody turn on the news.
But do you remember that little earthquake we had here a couple years ago?
Yes.
2012,
I think.
12.
Yeah.
It was 11 or
I was still
I think
working
you're
at the
right. I think
DMV
it was
when
11
it
or
occurred.
12.
And when it happened, because we were near an airport, we just thought a loud plane was going.
Wasn't
by.
it just a tremor though? Technically,
It was.
because it was Virginia. That
It was.
had
It
the
was
actual
epicenter was
earthquake.
Virginia, and it was
Yeah.
like a 4.7 or 4.8 in Virginia or something like that.
Yeah, but it ricocheted here pretty well, man.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good vibration. Everyone was kind of shooken up about it afterwards. Like, oh, that was really an earthquake.
amazing
Yeah.
because the legitimate second that it happened, I was standing up out of a chair, and when you, it's like losing gravity when you stand up during an earthquake because the floor it like moves.
Oh, yeah.
and you're like, well, that's not where I stepped. That was
I
kind of
was-
weird.
I had gotten into, I was working at Rent a Center at the time. We got into our box truck, my store manager and the other manager ran out the store and was like, did you hear that? And we were like, what the fuck are you talking about? We went back into the store and he's like, something hit the store. And my manager looked at him and,
terrifying.
and she was like, I'm getting you drug tested. I swear to God. And then the one of the employees from the store next to ours, for like a sub shop, walked over and they were like, did you guys feel that? What the fuck are you talking about? We didn't feel it getting into a car.
Right,
I guess
yeah.
the shocks absorbed it. But everybody around us felt it. And we're like, what the fuck did we miss? But they
It's
felt
crazy,
it
man.
in New York.
Yeah.
They felt it in Florida.
Yeah.
I would say thank you to Saved by the Bell. The first thing I did when I took that step and realized that the earth moved,
You jumped into
I went right into a doorway.
right.
Yep.
Into a
Just
doorway.
stood there, was like, I don't care. If anything falls, I'm not dying. Fuck you guys.
I was helping a customer at the time. There was nowhere I could go. I just sat there. I'm like, I'm gonna take this.
Take it.
Take it.
I was walking around at work and I just thought someone was walking by with a cart full of clothes. I was like,
Cart
oh.
full of boulders. Just
Excuse me, sir, were you bringing earthquakes with you?
How many boulders are you buying?
I mean, do we have anything else to say about this other than it's probably gonna be crap, even though it's gonna look good?
I think the concept is it seems very unoriginal.
Yeah.
The
I mean, but-
action seems great, but it seems like it's going to be written pretty poorly,
Right.
and
Yeah.
the concept is just kind of droll.
Yeah. I feel like you can't make a full-length movie out of an earthquake.
Right.
Yes, they
Anymore.
Yeah, they have.
Right.
Yeah. Anymore.
I mean, you can. It's just gonna,
Well, I mean, not
you're
like...
gonna see like 6 people are going to see that movie. So, but
So,
yeah.
moving on to our next trailer, which is Insurgent.
What does Janine think is in that box, Caleb?
I don't know, but she's testing divergence. Searching for the one who can open it.
Find them. Every last one of them.
Janine's never gonna stop coming after us. It's time we fight back.
We don't have the numbers.
We will.
So yes, this is the upcoming sequel for the last one, which was Divergent.
Yes.
What?
I tore down the first one because I was like, this is another fucking book movie, blah, blah. And then my boyfriend fucking had to go and watch that shit. And he was like, no, it was kind of fucking awesome. And I swear to God, you'd love it. And I'm like, don't you judge me. And he's like, no, I'm serious. Like, you would love this movie. So I haven't seen the first one yet. But I think that the trailer for the second one looks pretty awesome. I also judged the Hunger Games pretty harshly. And then the second one came out, and it was fucking awesome too.
Right.
So I haven't seen the second one yet. But
I'll get the first one has gotten pretty good reviews. Yeah, I haven't seen it either, which is kind of a shame. But from those who I've talked to, that said, yeah, this is a fairly good movie. To compare it to something, I heard it was basically not as good as Hunger Games, but better than like Mortal Instruments or Twilight.
Can I
so
just
it's in like a
say,
middle ground.
The first thing I thought, like watching this movie, was it looks like Hunger Games mixed with Terminator Salvation, like minus the machines.
Yeah,
I can see
yeah,
that.
You could say that. And when the first one came out,
exactly
everyone
what it looked like.
when it first came out, everyone's like, "Oh, this is Hunger Games combined with Harry Potter," because of all the different houses that groups of people had to be filed into. You know,
But I don't think that's the only thing you should take away from Harry
I know,
Potter.
but true. But I'm just saying that's what people
Mike's
were
a
saying.
Harry Potter hater.
Oh, stop it! I am not, and we're not getting on that.
HPH. HPH. I'm just kidding. I've never seen any of them shitty
HPH
atrocities.
Sounds like HPV. Oh god,
That's an
Like,
STD.
Yeah, don't do
I
that.
know.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I thought that the thing, like the block or whatever they were using, it looked like one of the Fifth Elements.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
did.
And
Yeah.
the symbols
Sixth
on
element.
It's the sixth element.
It's the Sixth Element. It looks the symbols on it look like the symbols from Magic cards.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
So somehow Magic the Gathering relates to the Fifth
No,
Element.
it's a crossover, bro.
Oh, it's a crossover.
It's a crossover.
Between Magic the Gathering, the
And
Fifth,
the Fifth
element,
Element.
and Divergent.
No, and Divergent is the crossover.
Oh, Divergent is the crossover.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
This is what this is.
That's what the
happened.
final movie's going to be. Is people playing Magic.
Right. The final scene. Is
I'd
gonna
watch
be-
that.
The final scene is them going to be playing Magic. They're like, my Divergent kills your whatever because I had extra mana. I'm like, hey, you know what you need? You need some fucking acne cream.
Turn over your life counter.
You know, at the first time I watched this one, you know how you go on YouTube? Are we allowed to say like different?
That's
I
fine.
love
Yeah,
those
you can say
reading
YouTube.
notes.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's
That's
my
fine.
notes, man.
You
I
can
want to
take
make
notes.
so I can remember.
You guys
it.
can take notes if you want. You just choose not to.
Yeah,
The ad, you know how you watch a YouTube video and then an ad pops up, and I would say about 50% of the time it's a trailer for another movie.
Right.
yeah.
The ad for this trailer was the trailer for this movie. So like,
Well done, YouTube.
it popped up and I was like, I'm not watching this bullshit. It's 2.5 minutes. Skip ad, and I was like, it's the same fucking trailer.
YouTube plugged that shit out of you, bro.
Like you did that on
They
purpose,
just
man.
inceptioned you.
You just got Rick rolled.
Oh man, holy god, I got YouTube rolled, man.
So the director of this is gotta butcher his name, Robert Schwenk.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Sounds
There are
like
syllables.
Yeah.
5.
There are a lot of
consonants in a
syllables.
row.
It's Bob Scurfin. Steven.
Mike,
S-
say my last name.
Your new name?
Yeah, my
I
last
can't.
name.
I can't.
It's phonics. Say my last name, Mike.
Brennan.
It's not my last
I
name.
know. I'm gonna spell it SCHWENTKE. This guy's last name, not yours.
Rude. This podcast isn't about you, Paul.
Clearly, you haven't been listening to this podcast.
But anyway, he was the director of Flight Plan. I don't know if you remember that with Jodie
Oh, that was
Foster.
such a good movie.
Time Traveler's Wife, which was not that
Did
good.
not see
I kind of like that
There
movie.
was Flight Plan.
Red, which I liked Red.
Red is a great movie, and I like The Time Traveler's Wife. It was
I
a lot
like the
better than I
second
thought it was.
one.
And R.I.P.D.
R.I.P.D. was tough,
I like,
but I watch it.
I know,
every
you saw that,
fucking
right?
time it's on TV.
I like that movie.
It still comes on HBO, and I watch it every time.
It was really fucking stupid, but it's really fucking
It's
entertaining.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's like Men in Black, but
Ghosts.
dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what everyone said about it.
dead Men in Black.
Right.
Dead in Black.
Dead in Black.
Dead in Black.
But yeah, this director, his career is very back and forth. He's had some very good movies, and he's had some kind of bad ones, and all of his movies kind of just run the gambit of every genre. You know, he runs from suspense to romantic to action comedy. You know, it's very weird how his career's gone.
Did
This
he
sounds like
do
you in the
the
bedroom.
First one?
What's that?
Stop.
Did he do the first one?
No, he did not direct the first one, which is even stranger. He didn't direct Divergent. So, yeah, he's coming in new into the series, and I don't know if I feel positive about that or negative about it. I mean, he's not a bad director. He's a competent director. He's just hasn't worked on the series, and everything he's done has just kind of been different. And again, this is different. It's young adult.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see the first one, and I was kind of disinterested watching this. I didn't.
Is Kate Winslet supposed to be like
evil?
The draw of that movie?
Oh
no.
Like, is she the only A-list actor on there?
No, the draw is Shailene Woodley. She's the draw.
She's in everything.
Yeah, they're trying to make her into the next Jennifer Lawrence. They're really, really pushing this girl right now.
J-Law, thanks for the pics, babe.
Oh,
hot.
But
with a W.
Did you see them? Were they good?
I have them.
Karen is going to destroy you.
I don't care.
Because Karen likes them too?
I feel no shame. I do not feel bad for people that put their stuff out on the cloud.
Oh God! Well, we're not.
Do you know how many of my dick pics are out there somewhere?
Yeah, YOLO. Check my Instagram. There's a picture of my ass on there.
Check my mom's cell phone. I'm sure there's pictures of my ass that I texted her when she says, "Hey, send me a picture of you." Here you go.
Here's my butt.
Of your face. What? You weren't specific. This is my taint. Enjoy.
Shailene Woodley was in the first Divergent, and she was also recently in The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah.
Which I have heard from little girls apparently who love it, but every person with a mind says this is fucking awful.
Little girls have minds.
That's because it's like, isn't it pretty much like the new Notebook?
Basically,
but
yeah.
Like
it's the Notebook
cancer?
with it's the Notebook with
I mean,
cancer.
It's a different.
Yeah.
It's obviously a different. You can't just make the same fucking
Well, you
plot.
could.
Like,
Will seemed to really like the book.
Who said Will?
Yeah, he was reading the book down at the beach.
That's cool. That's fun to read.
Yeah.
Huh.
I love reading.
He seemed to really like the book.
I'm just kidding.
Reading's good.
Reading sucks ass.
No, but it's led to some people, and I shit you not, this was actually a comment that was floating around YouTube and was being repeated by many people, and we believe it was young girls, coming out and saying, boy, I wish I get cancer so I can be in a relationship like this.
God, that's awful.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
really
that's
sending the right message.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
But
little girls are dumb, so.
Adult girls are kind of dumb, too.
That was Paul. Just FYI, not Dan.
Karen is going to run back.
Paul.
She's going to run back
Where
to
are
America.
you?
Karen, just FYI,
So,
I love J-Law's pictures.
Also in this movie, we have Theo James, Ansel Elgort, which is a terrible name, but he was also in The Fault in Our Stars and was the romantic lead outside of Shailene Woodley. So they're brother and sister in this, and they were romantic together in The Fault in Our Stars.
Is he the same guy from the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least it didn't go the other way. At least they weren't like brother and sister first, and then they're romantic. Like,
No, that's what happened. They were in Divergent. They were brother and sister.
Oh, that's right. Because Divergent did come out first. I forgot
Then The
about
Fault in Our
the
Stars
original.
came out, and
Yeah.
everyone who had seen Divergent was kind of watching this like, you're brother and sister.
Stop making out.
Yeah.
Mike, do I need to remind you about Godzilla and Avengers 2?
Yeah, no, you don't. You've explained this numerous times.
First they got married, and then it turned out they were siblings
Right.
with superpowers.
Like Kentucky.
Like Kentucky. Like Kentucky with superpowers.
We also have Jai Courtney, who is fucking terrible. We're not going to talk about him. And Kate Winslet coming back, who is the main antagonist.
Kate Winslet, terrific actress.
Oh, I love Kate Winslet. I think she's great.
Was this the movie that had Ashley Judd in it, or is that a different movie? Trailer
Ashley
that
Judd's
was-
alive?
No, Ashley Judd, I think, was her mom. Wasn't she?
Which one? Which the Judd lady?
Judd
Nelson?
No, lady.
I don't know.
Judd Nelson,
Ashley
though?
Judd is is an actress, yes.
Yes.
But
She was in
Naomi
this
Judd?
trailer, right?
I'm pretty sure she was. Yeah, she's in the first one. I'm pretty sure she was the
Yeah.
mom. I don't know offhand.
Well,
but
why can't we name her? She's not big.
Nobody
No,
gives
I
a
don't. I
shit.
didn't remember she was in
This
it.
isn't
I'm
Double
sorry.
Jeopardy, and she's not showing her boobs. Like nobody cares.
I didn't remember her. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now, before we leave this trailer, but we talk about it a little bit more, I did want to say the third book, which I believe is the final one, which is called Allegiant, has already been confirmed that it's going to be split into 2 parts.
That pisses me off, dude.
I know.
annoying.
It's so fucking ridiculous that
my
every
God.
series has to do this.
Stop making things so long. That's not the point of a movie. The point of a
Right.
movie is to go out, have an experience, be done with it. Not to go out, have an experience, and then have a to be continued ... at the bottom of it.
Right.
So you go back.
Did you just complain that books are too long?
No, movies.
Right. But if they release the movie and they cut out all kinds of shit, then you'd be bitching that they cut out all
No, because he doesn't read.
I don't read, bro.
So he doesn't care.
I mean, people that matter would complain.
Aw.
I matter. I just don't like reading because reading's like I'd rather shove the book up my butthole than actually read it because
Paul,
this
I'm gonna
sucks.
find a nice book for you.
I'm not. I shouldn't have said that to you.
Here's the thing. I understand what he's saying, but to be fair, let's say this. This all started because of Harry Potter when they did it with their last movie. They split
God,
the last
he's such a
one into two.
hater.
I'm not hating Harry Potter. I love the last two movies, for God's sake.
Is that it?
Anyway,
Is that all you loved?
No, I love the third one as
You
well.
loved Emma. What's her fuck?
Watson.
Was it Watson?
Emma
There's
Watson.
a lot. There's
Is
a lot
it
of
Watson?
Emmas.
Yeah, Emma
There
Watson
are
is
a
her name,
lot.
yes.
I can't keep anything straight.
Anyway, this
Is Emma Watson your one?
Sure.
Cool. We got it. We're done.
All right, Emma Watson is her one. Okay.
That's a good one. I'm out on that.
Oh God.
All right. So,
I hope the mic picked that up.
can I talk?
No.
That's a good high
It
five.
was a solid high five.
I'm usually pretty bad at it.
And it was right in front of the mic. Like, I really hope that picked up. It was solid. It's proof. So what were you saying about the movies, Mike?
Okay. So,
Starts with Harry Potter.
Harry Potter split its last book into two movies.
Because there was a lot of shit going on, bro.
Yeah.
It was. And that's why I understand they did that.
Okay.
But not every final book in every series needs that.
Not every book needs it either.
Right.
Hobbit.
Right.
I'm looking
Hobbit.
at you.
Right. Hobbit was supposed to be two movies. They had to split it into three movies.
Hobbit could have been a one movie.
It could have
easily.
been.
Exactly.
Right. And now, because Harry Potter did it, they feel the need that every final book has to be split into two
I don't think you
parts.
have to blame Harry Potter.
But they're the ones who started this trend.
So?
Are you sure it started with Harry Potter and it wasn't Twilight?
No, it was Harry Potter.
Twilight was after Harry
Well
Potter
after.
finished. Yeah.
And apparently a lot of shit happened. And now I'm not defending Twilight, so please don't get me wrong on this. But apparently a lot of shit happened in that book too, and they wanted to do it justice or something. So they spent the first movie fucking, and they spent the second part of the movie doing something other than fucking. Apparently.
Well, you could just skip it all. You don't need.
I mean,
any
yeah,
of
we
it.
didn't need any of those movies.
Right.
Read it and I regret it.
I'm saying, like, if the story calls for the time allotted for two movies, let it go. If it doesn't need two movies and you're dragging shit out for money, then
Like
like
Lord of the
I can,
Rings?
like
No,
the fucking Hobbit,
The
exactly.
Hobbit, right.
We just said that.
Right.
Sorry, I was
No.
being-
but you're on board with
But
that.
so
Like you
everybody
understand,
knows it, so it's accurate.
right?
Yeah.
So if it needs that, then fine. If you're doing it for money, go fuck your mother.
And I'm thinking more often than not now this is being done for money. From what people are saying about Mockingjay Part 1,
What is
it was
it being
completely
done for
unnecessary because there was so much padding in Mockingjay Part 1 that they're like, okay, you left everything for Part 2. So if that's the case, then why the hell are you even making a Part 1? Oh, well, we want to make another $50 million or another $500 million, you know? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's enough.
But all right.
in
So
the-
are we gonna complain that they're gonna do Infinity War Part 1 and 2?
well, that's not based off of a novel.
But it's a Part 1 and a Part 2.
Okay, well, they're doing...
Where they could do two completely separate movies, which will probably end up being.
Right. Which I think they could do that and just call it two different things. You know, you could call... I don't know what you would call the prelude to Infinity War. Call it something, and then the second one could be Infinity War. You know, but why do you have to call it Part 1 and 2?
Drummer Boy, Infinity.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lobsters are coming.
You want to like play tic-tac-toe while they're talking
Yes,
about this?
let's do
Like,
it.
what the
Hangman.
fuck is going on?
All right, well, we're going to digress. I mean, does anyone have anything to say about Insurgent other than meh? I mean,
I thought the trailer looked fucking awesome.
I thought it was okay.
I want to see it.
I mean, it looked okay, but I didn't.
By the
pay
way,
attention.
were they going full like Matrix Revolutions to her at the end, where they're like plugging her into the Matrix? Did you see that?
They said that they were testing that thing on
Yeah, all those
Divergent.
cables come
where
alive
she has
and
to fight
plug
each other?
her.
I missed that
Yeah,
part.
fight
Fight
herself.
fight,
Yeah,
like,
like what?
fight each other.
Yeah, that's basically Mortal Kombat. Fight yourself.
mirror match, bro.
I would say plain and simple, man. Seriously, the special effects look really awesome. It's got Kate Winslet. I'm in. So
Danny's not difficult to please.
I mean,
doesn't
my
take
only other
much.
thing is Hollywood stopped pushing Shailene Woodley on us. I am not a fan of hers.
Who's that?
The lead
chick.
actress.
the lead
of this.
actress.
Wait,
well,
was-
are they?
Was
pushing
that
her
the
on? I
chick
don't
that they? That's the chick they cast as MJ.
Wait,
Michael
what?
Jackson,
Isn't
Michael
that the
Jordan?
chick they cast as Mary Jane
Did they?
for Spider-Man 2 and then dropped her?
Did they really?
Isn't that the woman?
I don't know. They
'Cause
might have.
Just
somebody-
Google it.
I
We
hope
all
not.
have smartphones. I've been the only one looking shit up tonight.
That's because Robin does this.
Right.
Yep.
You didn't
That
win.
was her?
It's
Yep.
just-
Okay. So is she going to be in the next movie?
No,
Or-
she was
No,
dropped
she's
from the
just-
second movie.
Oh, well, good.
All right.
So,
Okay.
moving on to our next trailer, which is It Follows.
I'm scared. I need to find him.
What did he really do to you?
Apparently, he used a fake name to rent a house in the city.
This isn't real. I swear to you, this is just some game.
If it kills her, it gets me and goes straight down the line to whoever started it.
What exactly is supposed to be following you?
I don't know.
Something happened. It's not what she thinks, okay?
You don't believe me. Mom? No, it's me. Everything's okay.
This movie was weird. I
This-
don't understand it.
If you watch this trailer, I don't know if you're like me, but I tried to predict the end of this movie the entire time I was watching the trailer. I'm like, yeah, she's dreaming it all, or yeah, she's been dead the whole time. And then, again, the trailer just leads you in some kind of bullshit direction, and you're like, yeah, this movie's going to suck.
I think it's like, it can be anything. It can be a stranger. It can be somebody you know.
It could be a tree!
And I'm just like, are you just saying that somebody is going to kill me?
That's what I think is going to be the genius of this movie, actually. I don't think this movie's actually going to suck. I feel like this movie is going to be one of those ones that freaks you. You know how, like, back in the day, you don't fall asleep because if you fall asleep, Freddy's going to get you.
Right.
Or you don't get a doll because if you get a doll, Chucky's
Yeah.
going to kill you. I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like, you have to be paranoid about the person that's following you because they
And
might
then
be
what?
after
Don't
Don't
you.
accidentally kill yourself?
Don't get
No, they might be after you. Like, it's
roofied
just-
and have some guy put a curse on you.
Right, that
yeah.
too.
Yeah, definitely don't get roofied and have a guy put a curse on you from, The Craft. 1996. That's the best movie.
Is that where I stole that
I
idea
think-
from?
Probably.
I think that's
Okay.
going to be I think they're going to have that real life horror aspect that kind of grabs people and it's like, you don't. There's going to be all this. You don't really know what that person next to you on the subway is going to do. And you're like, okay, but you were just next to that person yesterday.
They're probably going to steal my wallet or grope me.
But I think it's going to grab a lot of people and kind of freak them out in real life scenarios. And I think that's what good horror does. It freaks you out in real horror, like real life scenarios. And I think
Right.
Yeah.
it's going to grab you that way.
Right.
I
Danny
think
makes really good points. I don't think he should come back.
Sorry.
I
I told you, man. I make notes and stuff. I tried to dissect. I wanted to fit in. Damn it.
Danny did his homework.
Yes.
Nerd.
I don't know if they were just trying to go for like, throwing out other movie titles, but it referenced Cabin in the Woods and it made me wonder if this movie was going to have obviously not the same twist, but something similar that you're like, oh my god, I never saw this coming.
Kind of meta where it's saying,
I
maybe this
absolutely
ties.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I think, when you immediately see this trailer, you're starting to think, okay,
Right.
what's behind the big picture here? You're
Right.
like, what's really going on here?
And if it's by the same creators, I mean,
No, I don't think it's by the same creators at all.
Were they the writers?
They,
What were
no.
they?
There
No,
was
it
a
said it was-
critic had compared it to Cabin in the
Oh,
Woods.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
By the same token, then.
Only saw it
You
once.
had told me the twist in Cabin in the Woods, and that wasn't even the big twist.
No, it wasn't.
No,
So,
Cabin in
like,
the Woods kept going.
Yeah, when I finally saw that movie, and I thought that I had heard horrible things about it, and I sat there at the end like shaking, like I thought it was so amazingly well done. If they do something like this where it's layered, and I mean it doesn't even need to be layered. If they just fucking do a good story,
Right.
But if it is layered, I mean it could be really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Now, the director is David Robert.
Oh yeah, him. That guy is so cool. They named him twice.
David Robert Mitchell. He was
3
the
times.
director of The Myth of the American Sleepover, which is something I've never seen, a little independent film. But that's the only movie he's
It
ever
sounds like a rape film.
The Myth of the American Sleepover.
Sounds like some Quagmire would attend
Yeah.
from like outside
Yeah.
the house.
Like, how do you not hear that name and automatically think porn?
Pretty sure it was a porn.
Pretty
Most
sure.
people get their start in porn.
Robert Williams got to start.
No,
in
most
porn.
people get their start in horror, not in porn.
Oh my god, I made that fact up.
No, and I didn't. Robert Williams got to start in gay porn.
Anyway.
Sorry, Zelda.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a
She doesn't.
comedian first?
he got his film start.
She's a sweetheart.
Anyway, so the lead actress in this is Micah Monroe, who the only thing I remember her in was did you either of you see or did anyone here see Bling Ring?
What?
Never heard of it.
Excuse me.
You never heard of Bling Ring?
What did you just call me?
Sounds terrible.
Bling Ring was actually a film with Emma Watson that came out late 2012 or early 2013, I think.
Jesus Christ, did I black out then? Like,
no.
Why would you remind me of something called that?
It was basically about these fairly well-off white kids going out and committing crimes.
Right, like all of us do.
Right. But it was called Bling Ring. It had Emma Watson. I believe this
Came out
actress
last
was in it
year.
as well. Yeah. Last year? It was
Last year,
2013?
2013.
Okay. All right.
Was it in theaters?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like
It was-
a wide release?
Yeah, it was a wide release.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Yeah, man.
What the
It's
fuck?
apparently like a legit thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like,
I never heard
Kim
of
and
it,
I,
but-
like, we're rich and we go out and we kill, like, minorities
Oh,
constantly.
what?
It had
This
nothing to do
chick-
with killing minorities.
Why did you gotta make it minorities?
Dude, this chick has
Because we're
legit
white,
been
I had
in
to make
like
it more
nothing.
racist.
Right. I
She's
know.
been in a whole bunch of stuff that was probably a horror movie and ended up going straight to DVD.
Right.
Flying Monkeys,
Never heard of it.
What?
Labor Day,
Beaver Day?
Bad
No,
Blood.
Labor Day, not Beaver Day.
Who the fuck would name a movie Beaver Day?
It's like Groundhog Day, Beaver Day.
Beaver Day sounds like the name of a lesbian porn.
That's what I was thinking. Instead of Groundhog Day, it'd be Beaver Day.
I'm gonna
That's
Google
the
Beaver
porn
Day
parody,
real quick.
Beaver Day.
I'm gonna make sure there's not a
The day
Beaver
keeps happening over and
Oh
over and
my
over.
God.
Until you eat the pussy right.
Thank God.
You can't say pussy. Oh wait,
Jesus.
go ahead. Google this.
Then Bill Murray comes in and everybody runs away.
The only other thing
And
I'm
he
going to
forgets what
say about
happened.
It Follows is that
That is not a lesbian porn.
it currently holds a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 81 on Metacritic.
Oh, fuck.
The
So it
few people
sounds
who have
legit.
seen this are loving it.
All right.
They are adoring this. This is like the early reviews for Babadook.
Ah, I want to see that so bad.
I know, and it's getting massive praise right now.
Christ.
So I'm looking forward to this.
I will kill an infant to see Babadook.
It doesn't
That's
have
unnecessary.
it doesn't have a nationwide release date yet.
On-demanded.
Yeah, it just said
No.
2015. I don't think I got.
Yeah, it
anything
didn't
else.
get.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a release date yet, but hopefully it gets a nationwide release because it looks rather good, and the early reviews have been great. So
Yeah.
Well, the last horror movie that you showed me that I wanted to see cost an infant its life, and I still haven't seen it. So.
Just so you know, Beaver Day is actually a thing.
Wait, like a real day.
Let me give you the top 4 Beaver Day results.
Oh
First one, International Beaver Day. It's beaversww.org. Help people learn about these amazing animals on International Beaver Day. It's April 7th, just if you're wondering.
Of course.
2 days after my birthday, great.
The second result was Beaver Day, 7th of April, 2015.
So Kim, so you give him birthday
No.
sex, and then you give him Beaver Day sex.
The third one was Beaver Country Day School. And then Urban Dictionary, Beaver Day. Beaver Day apparently surpasses Valentine's Day in relevance and St. Patrick's Day in alcoholism.
So it's drunken sex day.
So there's Beaver Day for you.
All right. So moving on to our
Moving
next
on.
We all
trailer.
got learned.
Poignant enough. Get hard.
James King.
Yes?
You're under arrest for fraud and embezzlement.
I have faith that the justice system will exonerate me.
I sentence you to 10 years in a maximum security prison.
Did he say 10 years?
My life is ruined.
Because after 30 days, I'm going to prison. It's not as bad as I've heard, is it?
Hell yeah, it's bad.
Teach me how to survive in prison the way you did.
Tell me how you know I went to prison.
Given your low economic status.
Wait, what?
Your perceived lack of college education.
Okay.
Statistically, you definitely went to prison.
I'll see you tomorrow, convict.
Hello?
You ready, white boy? Pepper spray, bitch! Prison school is in session.
I'm learning so much. This is exactly what I need.
Will they survive?
I actually
Right
like
to
it
the
when
point.
Danny comes to the show.
Right to the point.
Yeah. So, what do we say about this movie?
Kevin Hart was funny.
I know what you're going to say.
What's that?
That you're sick of seeing Will Ferrell and his man-child ways.
Well, I wouldn't call him a man-child in this.
I'm like a yuppie
I love Will
child.
Ferrell.
Yeah,
I will love
He's
anything he puts
immature.
out.
He's an idiot. But I don't know if I call him a man-child.
I love everything Will
But
Ferrell
no,
does.
I get what you're saying. You know, I do
You
hate
always
him.
make that complaint.
No, I do hate him as his man-child self. I do hate that. I also know if I would call this a man-child performance.
So you don't like Step Brothers type of movie?
Well, I started getting sick of it around like Elf. Yeah, Step Brothers.
You don't like Elf? You're such a communist. Elf is like the best movie.
I'm okay with Elf. I'm okay with Step Brothers. I didn't like Talladega Nights.
Oh, I love Talladega Nights.
Fucking love Talladega.
It's one of my
You're
favorite
definitely
movies.
gay Dan, and I'm definitely straight Paul. So.
What was the other one?
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory.
Yeah,
Fantastic film.
He's just being the man child, and I don't like it.
And he's making millions of dollars going, I can be funny no matter what I say.
How is that?
Did you ever see him
a
on
man
SNL
child,
when
but
he
this
did
isn't a
Mother's
man
Day?
child?
No.
Like,
Back
this
to
is-
the
Trailer.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The director of this is Ethan Cohen. That's how it's pronounced. Not Ethan.
Cohen Brothers?
No, not one of the Cohen brothers.
Okay.
Or
cousin.
siblings.
Or sibling. I don't know if he's a sibling or not. I just know he's not one of the brothers.
Okay.
This is
Is it
his.
what sidebar?
Yeah.
Aren't those the people where one of them changed and they're not brothers?
No,
anymore?
that's the Wachowskis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
And Mike and Ike.
Right.
Now they're Mike and Jeff.
Because Ike is.
Ike went off to do his own thing.
I mean, personally, I would have kept Ike and made Mike change his name. No offense.
What are you gonna do?
1,000 mics.
Ethan Cohen. This is actually his directorial debut, but he's
His rector?
Stop. I heard it too. He
Directorial.
said directorial.
I didn't hear die.
I heard erectal too.
I heard.
Moving
rector.
on.
Directorial debut. So he's actually written for a lot in the past, though. He has written for Beavis and Butthead.
Wait, like the show or the
show,
movie?
not the movie. The show from '94 to '96. He wrote for Idiocracy.
Great movie.
And he was a writer for Tropic Thunder. So
Okay
he's
movie.
written for a lot, and he's done a very good job as a screenwriter.
I never saw Idiocracy, but I was recently told that I need to see it in order
I
to
think
complete
you'd
my
like
life.
it.
It's
To
a
be honest.
fantastic movie. I love Idiocracy.
It's really well written, and it has like such a just awesome like drive home plot that
Right.
you're just like, oh.
Yeah, a friend of mine recently quoted it, and I didn't fucking understand what she was saying. It's like, you have to go watch this movie.
It's pretty. I think you'd like it, man. I would
Right.
watch it. And
Cool.
it's
It's starting to catch on more. Like when it was
Unfortunate.
released, not many people saw it, but
so it's like Donnie
kinda,
Darko. It's
Unfortunately,
like
It's gotten a
Maya
cult. It's like Donnie.
Rudolph's
It's gotten
in
it's a cult following now. Yeah,
the rest of the movie's just top notch.
and
dude.
it's
thought it
Terry
was
Crews,
Dax
and you can't go
Shepard.
wrong with
And Terry Crews is fucking awesome.
I thought Dax Shepard was in this movie.
He is.
He's not the lead.
No, he's
he's
his
a-
lawyer
I
actually.
would say he's like third or
dumbass.
fourth in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so in this we have Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart. I believe what's her name? Alison Brie is also in this.
I didn't recognize
on
either of
the-
the female leads.
The show with Joel McHale.
Yes, she is.
What the hell is the name
is
of
in
that?
this
Community.
movie.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh my
Community.
god.
Fuck, I hate that show.
Community
she's
is
in that.
hilarious, and you're a fucking communist.
I guess you're not gay, Dan, anymore.
I am, but I'm the communist.
Also
version.
in
It's
this,
okay. We're allowed to disagree.
I don't know if we saw him in the trailer or not, but also in this we have Craig T. Nelson,
Awesome.
and we
Oh,
also
yeah,
have
I did see
T.I. somewhere. in
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we saw
he-
T.I.
Yeah.
I think T.I. is awesome. He does good music, and he does every time I've seen him in a movie or some kind of live role, he's his chops are pretty good.
Good.
T.I.'s gonna be an Ant-Man.
Yes, he is. Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
His acting chops are pretty upper echelon.
He's gonna
Jay
get pretty big
Farrow
in
is
Ant-Man.
apparently in this too.
Yeah.
Jay Farrow is fucking amazing.
I love Jay Farrow.
I don't know if you watch SNL, but if you don't watch SNL, watch it because Jay Farrow is God.
Jay Farrow's pretty good. My only thing with Jay Farrow, I want to see him do a character he created, not just an impersonation.
Yeah, he does a lot of impersonations, but
He
they're
does
all
great
really good.
impersonations.
They're really good.
His Jay-Z impersonations are on point.
Now, to discuss what actually is going on in this movie, it's Will Ferrell, some sort of CEO or businessman who ends up being found guilty of his crimes, and instead of kind
Like
of getting
tax evasion.
like
Yeah,
tax
yeah,
evasion,
something,
and
you
instead
know,
of just
white collar.
kind of getting off like a lot of these CEOs do, and getting like 2 years of house arrest. The judge throws the book at him and says, 10 years in maximum security prison. Like
He gets 30 days
wow.
house arrest and then
you
a
have
decade
30 days
in
house
jail.
arrest. Which, by the way, that wouldn't happen.
No.
You wouldn't be found
Yeah,
guilty
you
of a
would
crime
go
like that, and
right.
then you can go back to home for 30 days. Like no, you'd be a fucking flight risk. That wouldn't happen.
Well, he had a thing, an ankle thing.
Oh yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
saying
That's house arrest, though.
yeah, I'm saying, but you figured out a way to get the fuck out of there.
he didn't seem very smart.
Well, anyway,
He goes to
It's
Kevin
a
Hart for help.
comedy. It's not going to be well written. Just go into that assuming that
Right.
initially.
But I will say this: if you go and watch this trailer on YouTube, don't read the comments. Don't, because you will lose faith in humanity. This is one of those movies where everyone's throwing race into it.
It's gonna be racist. Yeah, absolutely. Every
because-
time you have a
'cause
white
the-
actor and a black actor as the top two, Men in Black. I mean,
Well,
name
not
a
even
thousand
about
of
that,
them.
but it's because of the themes of this movie that deal with race.
But you know what's funny is it seems like the movie makes fun of that.
It
Because
does.
she
And that's
even
what's
says-
awesome about it
Yeah,
is
why
because
does
they
he
make
assume
light of
that?
it. And
Yeah.
that's what we need to do, man. You can't. I'm not going to get political, but
No, but
I mean,
that's-
that's
But that's
kinda,
you can get political because that's
I
what
don't
I'm talking
really
about the
wanna
YouTube
get political,
comments
but
with this,
I think that's what needs to happen. It's a lot of people hating people for all the wrong fucking reasons. So let's just make light of it. We'll all join together and laugh. Laughing sounds the same in every language,
Right,
dude.
like don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Hate me because your husband thinks so, and I fucked him. Right, like hate for the right reasons.
Hate him for the gay jokes that he makes in the middle of a fucking podcast.
Things that are completely don't follow anything that's going on.
And somehow make the girl next to him uncomfortable. I don't really understand.
I don't really get that either. But
Yeah.
she dates him.
How is the vibe feeding that way?
But I wonder what's going to happen with Kevin Hart teaching Will Ferrell, what happens in prison. Well, of course, he hasn't been
You
there.
know what's gonna
but
happen?
It's like,
Yeah, that's it. I don't think you.
it's like, is he learning from what he's seen in Shawshank
You
Redemption?
didn't quite cover that though. You didn't. The fact of the movie is, Will Ferrell comes to Kevin Hart and says, "Teach me how to live like prison life."
Right.
But Kevin Hart actually hasn't been in prison.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He's
yeah.
just being that rich guy that assumes that Kevin Hart's been in prison because watch the trailer, you'll understand.
So I think he's just going to mess with him. Be like, why are you going to assume that I've been to prison? I'm going to, fuck with you.
I'm pretty sure
But he's
that
paying him, I'm sure.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I was, yeah.
Will Ferrell at the end of this movie is going to be fucking Martin, Big Mama's house.
Martin Lawrence.
No, not Big Mama's house. Bring down the house.
Martin Sheen.
Bringing down the house.
Bring down the house. Queen Latifah and
No, Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
Oh,
Last Holiday.
He's gonna be Steve Martin in the end of Bringing Down the House. You
How
see
many
him walking out.
Raise your hand if you saw that movie.
You never saw Bringing Down the House?
No. I like Life.
Bringing Down the House is a great movie.
No.
Have you seen that
No.
movie?
No, I haven't.
No.
I haven't. Sorry.
There you go. 25% of us have seen that movie. Thought so.
He's like going to unplug his mic. He's like,
Why
I'm
were
done.
you like so offended that no one's seen that
it's a-
fucking atrocious movie?
You don't even know it's atrocious. It's a great movie. Listen to how high my voice is getting. I'm very passionate about
Adjust his microphone settings, please.
Gene Levy's in it.
Anyway,
There's some white girl who gets uppercutted by Queen Latifah.
All right, that sounds pretty good.
I love Queen Latifah. I won't see her with.
that says more about you than her.
LL Cool J. Queen Latifah is a wonderful actress, and she's a great lady.
I've
It's not-
seen.
She's a nice lady.
She's a nice lady.
I've seen Taxi and Barbershop 2.
Taxi
okay?
is one of my favorite movies ever.
Both of those movies are fucking hilarious.
Taxi
fucking
is hilarious.
awful.
You're so stupid.
Both
My
of those
favorite part, dude.
Now, The Last Holiday. All right, like everybody makes mistakes, but
That was the one with her I didn't see.
or this one,
or that one, yeah.
which is
my
fucking
God.
great.
I haven't seen any
Dude, I'm
of
telling you, Taxi is fucking hilarious.
I'm not
They're
a
both
fan.
It got 1 star because it's hilarious. It didn't
Because
get-
they missed the rest of the
They
movie
didn't
'cause they were
judge it
laughing.
for its writing, or they judged it for its writing. They didn't judge it for its
Comedy.
entertainment value. It was fucking
Like Zoolander
awful,
was
but
probably
it was
one of the
hilarious.
worst written movies. Well, actually, there's
But Zoolander is one of the funniest. Fucking
It's one of the
No,
greatest.
Zoolander
movies
got
ever.
decent reviews. Anyway, moving
Moving
on
on.
to our next trailer, which is American Sniper.
I don't tell you enough. I'm so proud of you. You're such a great father.
So you're not worried about what might happen?
I'm willing to meet my creator and answer for every shot that I took.
I'll pick it up. Drop it.
Oscar bait.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Oscar
Oscar bait.
Oscar bait.
You let you say it for me, but yes,
Oscar bait.
This is total Oscar bait.
Oscar
But
bait.
looks crazy good.
It looks
you guys hear Oscar bait?
extremely good.
Yes, it does. It's another Clint Eastwood movie, so it's gonna be awesome.
Right now, I mean, we bring up Eastwood. I mean, think of the movies he's done. I mean, let's $1 Million Baby, Gran Torino.
Gran Torino is one of my favorite movies
I love
in
Gran
recent
Torino.
history.
Oh my
In
gosh.
recent history. I love the whole concept, and I think he's going to do it again.
Right.
Did
Did he win Oscar for Mystic River? I forget. He might have won it for $1 Million Baby. I don't remember.
No, that's Gran Turismo.
I haven't seen a single one of these movies.
But he's also did Letters to Iwo Jima.
You should see him. Dude, Clint Eastwood does good directing work.
He's
really
a
does.
phenomenal director. Yes,
I mean,
he
think
is.
about it. He's been in the movie industry for 50
Since,
years.
they started
you
it.
know.
Yeah.
He's been around movies.
I mean, he's
He
been
knows how to do
directing
them.
for 20 years now, but only like the last, I would say, 7 or 8 years has he hit his stride with
decade or
directing.
so, yeah.
And it's like, holy crap, dude, you have found your place in life.
That is
with
his
directing.
calling. I think this movie is going to be intense. I think it's going to fuck with your
Oh,
emotions.
yeah. I mean, because it hits so many points.
Yeah.
Like, some of the TV spots, like, because you see the kid picking up the RPG.
And he's like,
you know,
don't pick it up,
I
don't pick it
know.
up.
You know,
and there's another one, which is, I'm sorry, I'm not to cut you
No, go
off.
ahead.
But there's another one, which is a TV spot where you see a mother handing off a grenade to her son to runs towards a bunch of Marines.
Like,
and
it's
you're like,
gonna-
oh my God.
It's gonna fuck with your emotions. Like, this is gonna be. It's
why I don't watch
it's
these kinds
Oscar
of
bait.
movies.
It's absolutely Oscar.
I know,
bait.
but it hits a lot of points. You know, it's like, okay, well, you know, is the death of one child worth the 30 Marines that are marching down this street? You know, it's like, well, shit, I don't know the answer to that.
I know the answer to that, but I don't want to say it.
Right? No one wants to say that answer.
I had a friend years ago who went to Iraq. He was sent over one of the first groups that was sent over to Iraq, and he was a sniper. And he said that every single night he has. Have you ever seen that scene in Scrubs where JD is in the bar with all of the people he ever let die?
Yeah.
No.
It was one of the saddest.
Yeah, he said that every single night he dreams that, and every single person he ever killed is there, and he's always at the booth with this kid that got in the way of a bullet. Just happened to run out of a building at the wrong time. And he said, a friend of mine was dating him, and he said, I had the nightmare last night, and I punched her in the face. Like, he didn't wake up. He just started flailing, and he punched her, and she fell out of bed. And he said, like, she said she didn't realize, like, what he was going through until she sat there and she heard him talking while she was, like, sitting on the floor. But she heard him saying these things, and he's like, it's every single night. It's every single night. And it's this constant battle of, like, did I do the wrong thing? What if I hadn't pulled the trigger? These people could have died. If I'd pulled the trigger a second before, you might not have, like, all that.
And that's brought up in this movie.
I think that's exactly where this movie
right,
is
it's
going.
like, I don't think about the people I've killed. I think about the people who I couldn't save.
Right.
You know, and that's a very hot topic to bring up, and something you have to bring up something like that in this kind of movie. And at this point, it's like, okay, so it comes back to the question before. You know, it's the whole debate between existentialism and deontology. Is one life worth 30 lives?
Kill one,
you
save
know?
1,000.
Right.
Is that what they
Is
say?
is that worth it? And a movie like this dives right into that. And I think that's a very good debate to have. And
I mean, those who think more on logic will absolutely say yes.
Right.
I mean, I can say yes. It's one of those things where, you know, you hear people say, like, if you could go back in time and kill Hitler as a child, could you really kill a child? Well, knowing that person did all of these things, you could save you could save countless lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, retrospect is always just a devil, though.
Well, yeah.
I mean, like, I could say, well, man, if I was grown, I would have gone back and killed Hitler when he was, 26, like, whatever it was. It's
right,
like,
but, like,
retrospect is
could
just
you...
devil's advocate.
Like, seeing that kid in the trailer holding the RPG.
Dude, that was a big-ass missile.
Yeah, it is. Fuck somebody.
That shit was
like,
bigger than he was.
I have a feeling that even if he launched that, it wouldn't hit anything. It would just go like straight
I'm pretty
up.
sure it would just throw him to the ground.
Yeah.
Right.
But, like, I mean, if that could hit something, I mean, he could save countless, however many lives.
Right. It
I
didn't
mean,
look
if
like
he
he
did
was
hit
holding
something,
back
that thing
either.
could do mass damage. But if he doesn't, you know, so yeah, it's something that I'm really looking forward to seeing. Bradley Cooper's been doing great movies.
He has. He's been doing great work.
I'm really
as of late.
admiring his acting chops recently.
Yeah. I mean, perfect example. He did Silver Linings Playbook. Then he went out and did
Gorgeous.
American Hustle, which
American Hustle was
I
one of my
haven't seen
favorite
yet,
movies
but-
that Didn't win anything.
It didn't win anything. It was nominated for 8 or 9 Academy Awards. And
didn't win a thing.
One of them.
But it was
But
like...
I expected that.
Holy shit, that was one of my favorite movies.
No, I loved American Hustle, but I said that going in. This is a movie that is... Its parts are greater than its whole.
Yeah, that's what you
said.
Okay. Yeah,
all the performances were good. The directing was good. The script was good. But all that brought together, I don't think was worthy enough to win any one Oscar.
But it was so fun to watch.
It was. It really was.
I mean, he really has. He's one of those people that when I first see him, and please don't judge me for the comparison I'm about to make.
Okay.
But like Justin Timberlake, Zac Efron, like these are the people that you see like when they first come out, and I'm like, this person's a fucking joke. And then they prove themselves in whatever
their face kind of thing.
I agree.
Yeah. They prove themselves in whatever their field is.
I don't know that. For me personally, I don't think Zac Efron's proven himself to me.
I think he's getting
Justin Timberlake has definitely proven himself to me. He's been in some serious movies. He's been in some comedies. He's
the
done his
first
thing.
movie I ever saw him in that I respected him in was Alpha Dogs.
Right, you've talked
about
Alpha
looked at
Dogs
him and I was like,
good, man.
I was like, of course he'd play a stoner. But then the movie ended.
The
and I was
end of
like,
the movie was
he was fucking great. That's
So
when I first decided to give
and
him
I
a
think
chance.
that's what people are doing, and I'm definitely getting into that with our next trailer.
Oh yeah,
So,
we'll discuss that shortly.
What? Are you segueing?
I'm segueing a little bit. Come on, don't be mad at me for segueing, man. Come on, dude.
But yeah, I'm
Nothing
I'm
else. He's segueing. We have to jump. We have to
No,
jump.
I have to finish up one last thing with American Sniper. And it's going to go back to another movie, but several of the cast members of American Sniper are actually current serving U.S. Navy SEALs.
Wow.
Yeah. Some movies have been doing this as of late.
Such Oscar bait.
It is.
We had
Oscar bait.
SEALs.
Oscar
Right.
bait.
They were SEAls. We had
Right, Navy
Oscar bait.
military.
Oh, they said red seals. I was
Red
like,
Red Trios.
Red wine.
what does that mean?
No,
I'm
but
gonna get that tattooed on my ass.
there have been several movies as of late that have tried to do this, where they, bring in active military members into the movie and then don't release their names because, again, they're active military members. They can't do that.
Kim does that sometimes.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. She brings in active military members and then doesn't release their names.
Ah, okay.
Totally.
Hi, I'm Judy. Is Judy a sexy name? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't sleep with girls, so I don't know.
The female version of Keith.
What's wrong with Keith?
What's up for Keith?
All our Keith listeners are going to be pissed.
Sorry,
as well
Keith.
as our Judy. All our Judy listeners.
I don't think we have any Judy listeners. We might have a couple Keith
Not
listeners.
anymore, dude.
Keith is such a boring name. When you meet somebody named Keith, it's just like, oh, all right.
All right,
Keith Richards is the least boring person on the planet.
He's the only interesting Keith ever.
Keith Erminskin. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Every mother decided to name their boring kid Keith, hoping it would rub off, and it didn't work.
They all do drugs now.
Yep.
They're all fucked up.
Right. Anyway, so this movie has several active U.S. Navy SEAls in it, and
Is Keith and Judy one of them?
no,
Oh.
but
Love Keith and Judy.
We had to make it a little lighter, Mike. I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, this
I know.
movie, this got way too intense real quick.
But here's the thing about this.
I had the razor out. I was
I'm going to
ready.
compare. I don't think that American Sniper is going to be anywhere near as bad as this other movie I'm going to mention. Nowhere near it. But a movie came out a couple years ago called Act of Valor. Actually came about 3 or 4 years ago now.
I actually never saw that movie.
Act of Valor was an
Wasn't
entire
it a game? That was a movie?
It was a
That's
movie,
a
yeah.
movie.
Oh, I never saw it.
And it was a cast entirely of active U.S. Navy SEAls.
Yep.
Oh, I do remember
That's what.
that.
That's a claim to fame.
Right. These are men who know what combat looks like, and therefore the combat in the film is quite good. But
So did they like PTSD in the middle of fucking shooting?
not always, but that actually does occur at one point in
Yeah,
the movie.
that's
yeah.
what I would think. Like, that
Right.
wasn't a joke.
Right. No, yeah, but that it was a quite
Sounded
serious
like a joke. It wasn't supposed
No.
to.
Right. I got you.
But the thing about it is, these men may be, in fact, very good service members. They may be phenomenal military members.
But you want to fucking act as bitch?
Right. They
Oh,
can.
that's where he was going with
no, that's exactly where I'm going. They cannot act to save their lives because they're not actors.
Because they're
They're
busy.
not
They're not paid for
acting.
that.
Our
They're, yes,
lives.
they're busy
Saving
saving
their
our
lives.
lives, not acting. And I'm like, these guys should not be on film. I admire what they do, and the film was competent, but these men cannot act to save their lives.
You know what might have been nicer is instead of trying to make it all Hollywood and shit, they made it more of a documentary.
That'd have been fine.
Because
Been perfectly fine.
you don't have to act. You
Right.
interview them.
Right.
You show them in the field. You do your thing. You don't have to like put them in. I mean, first of all, you're putting them in an uncomfortable situation,
right?
Telling them what to say,
right?
To pretend to be doing the things that
like,
they do every
hey,
single
what did
day.
you say you were doing out there? Okay, we'll
and
say
making
this
them
instead.
act under false names because they cannot be in a film because they are active military members, right?
So in the credits, they had the false names,
right?
So that's I wouldn't blame the military members at all because they probably gave them a nice chunk of change for their part in the movie,
right?
And I wouldn't blame them at all because our military doesn't get paid for shit,
right?
I mean, they get paid better than our teachers, but not by much,
right?
Yeah.
But I bring this up because when those people like me came out and said, "Look, we admire these guys, but they're not actors. This is not a good performance movie. It's just kind of okay.
It should be a documentary."
Yeah, everyone else came out and said, "Oh, so you hate the military?" No, we're not fucking saying that. What we're saying is these men are not actors, therefore don't make them act. Just like you wouldn't put me on the fucking battlefield and tell me to be a soldier.
Exactly.
I'm not telling them to be an actor.
Not until you can climb
Yeah,
a wall.
I think honestly for them, I don't want to speak for them at all, the military members, because I love, honor, and respect them. But I just think that putting them in a situation is kind of belittling. To tell them how to say and act in a situation that they've experienced, that the director, the writer, all these other people that haven't experienced it, telling them to do that, I think that's kind of belittling to the actual military members.
I mean, that's a lot of feels, and I think Danny is right on point. I mean, you can't tell me I've been in this situation, but how I need to react to it.
Yeah,
I don't think that would be genuine. Why don't you shut the fuck up? Because I was there.
Yeah, I need you to cry a little more, actually, or I need you to laugh at what Tomboy said over there or whatever.
Judy said. So I'm bringing this back to American Sniper just to finish this up. A couple of the cast members are in active military, and I hope they're there to advise the actors on how they should be acting. I think that'd be great.
Not improve it, but make it more well-rounded.
Right, exactly. And I think it's great.
Authentic.
More authentic.
Authenticate.
Right. Yeah, and I think it's great that Clint Eastwood's trying to do that. As supporting roles, not as lead actors, because you need actors in these roles. But you have active military there who's been through this stuff and advising these actors on how to do that. I think that's the way to do this.
Yeah, but then fucking Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he's going to be all like, "Oh, no, I know how Rocket would react because I was in this movie with the military."
I don't think he's going to do that.
There's the comedic relief.
Yeah, there you go.
For this dead serious movie.
Getting into our final trailer for the night, which is True Story.
You know, to be honest, I'm relieved it's over with the Times. You turn into a real prick working for them.
Hello? Hi, I'm a reporter with the Oregonian. I wanted to get your side on the Christian Longo story.
Who?
He murdered his entire family.
Why are you telling me this?
Because when they apprehended him, he said he was Mike Finkel of the New York Times.
Did he say anything at all about why he claimed to be me?
I hoped you might be able to tell me that.
He was just a regular guy, an intelligent, sane man. He comes home one night and kills his wife and gets it. It makes no sense.
First off, I gotta say, I don't like the name of this movie. I mean, the movie itself looks really good, but just to name your movie True Story.
Based on a true story?
Yeah, based on a true story. It's just kind of like, what, really, guys?
Here's my opinion. Look, when True Story, before I watched the movie, I wasn't sure what to think about the title. So the title comes on, and the first thing that pops in my head is True Grit.
Like, all right.
Because I'm like, all right, True Story, True Grit. All right, I know what I'm talking about. This is what this movie's going to be. And then it comes on, and it's like talking about this guy that he writes for like
journalist,
a journalist for
New York Times, I think.
New York Times or something, right? And
writes a piece that apparently
is not plagiarized,
apparently
but falsified.
He fabricated one thing.
He fabricated it. Well, they said that he fabricated the whole thing, is what his bosses were telling him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I did what I did to survive, all this other stuff. And now I think the title, the more you watch the trailer, the more I think
the title makes
the
sense.
title fits the movie because it becomes more real life. And I think what they're saying is James Franco, as the criminal mind in this thing, is trying to say
this is the true story.
Yeah, this is the true story. They've got me all fucked up because what do they call it?
Eyewitness.
A and B. What are the evidence A and B or whatever they call it?
Oh God.
What is it called?
I know exactly what you're saying.
What the fuck is the
I've
word?
been drinking.
What the hell is the word?
Oh.
Blah blah A and blah blah B. Say that. Prove that I did this.
Why can't we think of this word?
No one can think of this.
Someone in Radio Land, tell us what this.
Exhibit A and
Exhibit A.
There we go.
Yes.
What?
Exhibit A
What
and
is wrong
Exhibit B
with us?
say that I did this, but this is the true story, and I think that's the whole reason behind the trailer. Him saying that my name's actually this, to get that reporter in there to say,
Right.
look, I need somebody to trust me, and I know that you've been mostly in your career reporting
The
true
truth.
story.
And I think that's great, but then we see that guy getting into his private life.
But
And that's
I
like,
don't
what?
think I think they're doing that on purpose. I think the trailer is showing him digging into his personal life on purpose to make you think that James Franco may or may not be the bad guy. And
But
that's the point of the trailer.
Yeah.
Because I think James Franco is going to end up being the good guy.
I don't know about
I
all
think
that.
that the name of it, True Story, is like we don't really know what is the true story of what is behind this criminal.
The true?
Yes, true. Not his truth.
What
or
was that, Cloud Atlas?
The,
Yeah.
The true?
Nah, I didn't see that. But the fact that it's unknown because they're hinting at things like, this story that he's telling you is not really true, but it's trying to lead you to discover the clues to figure out what actually is going on.
Right.
Jonah Hill's character.
I think you're half right there. I still think James Franco is going to end up being innocent in this movie. Sorry for whatever spoiler alert I might
No, it's fine.
listing, but I think that's the point, is that James Franco is somebody's framing James Franco and
Right.
saying that, yep, he's guilty for whatever reason, because we don't know dick about James Franco in this movie. They didn't give anything away in this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
James Franco could have been like an ex-FBI agent or a sniper or something. Like, have you ever seen this movie Shooter?
Yeah.
The movie Shooter, where he was framed for it and everything, but he was a good man.
Right.
But they framed him for it, ended up in cuffs, ended up in the orange jumpsuit, blah, blah, blah. Same thing, I think, is going to apply to this movie. I think he's going to end up being an innocent person who got framed for getting his nose in the wrong business. And he's like, look, dude, you uncover the truth. I know you do. I've seen you do it. You got to uncover this truth for me.
Okay.
So I think it's going to... And here, the thing I like about this movie is both of these actors, both of them, have proven their acting chops.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're
Jonah Hill most recently with Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street, and James Franco has done it a couple times. I mean, Spider-Man wasn't great.
Well,
but
it was what was
kinda
the movie? 127 hours.
127 hours, and then with the Spider-Man thing, like he wasn't, sticking with this comedy thing. It wasn't great, but it was, they're proving their acting chops.
Oh,
They're
right.
We're not just these cast type comedy guys.
We're not just super bad.
Yeah. So I think they've been doing a really good job trying to move forward, and I think this movie's going to kind of launch them into that next phase.
Getting on to the technical points of this, the director is Rupert Gold, and this is his, again, directorial debut. He's only worked thus far on stage productions, mostly with Shakespearean productions, which is kind of strange.
Are we talking like theater?
Yeah, theater. Yeah, he's done a lot of Othello, Hamlet, King Lear. He's done 2 TV Shakespearean adaptations, those being Hamlet and I believe Macbeth. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, this is his directorial debut. And again, in this we have James Franco.
That's a hell of a script to take on for your director.
Right, it is. It really is.
This, to me, the first thing I thought, and I know we said a little bit about, or I personally said a little bit about it earlier, Identity. When you see the trailer for Identity, and I'm sorry for those of you who haven't seen Identity, but it's your fault for not seeing it yet.
Been out for 12
when you
years
see
now.
the trailer for Identity, you have no idea what's about to happen when you watch that.
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
Okay, and this movie kind of gave me the same impression.
Right. It's leaving
It
a
was
lot,
kinda like,
lot to be
like
questioned.
You're like,
right.
okay, there's the trailer, but what's this movie really about?
Right.
And I think that movie is going to do something very similar.
Right.
And for this guy to take on this as his directorial debut, that's impressive.
Right. And again, we have James Franco, or as Obama would put it, James Flacco. Whoops. We also have Jonah Hill and what's her name, Felicity Jones. I don't know what else she's been in, but I recognize her. She plays Jonah Hill's wife. This is, in fact, very much a true story.
She was in The Amazing Spider-Man.
There we go, yeah. This is based off the memoirs of Michael Finkel and the accused killer, Christian Longo.
Finkel and Einhorn?
Yeah.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Good drop, man. Good drop.
But yeah, this is pretty tough material to pick up for a directorial debut, especially coming from theater, which is an entirely different,
Who wrote this?
I actually don't know who wrote this.
I want to say it's James Franco. Isn't James Franco like getting into writing and stuff?
He might be. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
As far as your directorial debut, this is some tough stuff to pick up on. Coming from theater, which is, again, an entirely different medium. And I tried to direct once in theater. It is awful. It is really fucking hard. I mean, and that was in high school. I'm like, I can't fucking do this.
The writers are Michael Finkel, Rupert Gould, and then...
Oh, so the guy who...
Others.
The actual reporter is the screenwriter.
Yeah. Michael Finkel, Rupert Gould, and David... Not a chance in hell. K-A-J-G, which that never happens. A-N-I-C-H.
Kaja Gugu.
Kaja Gugu.
J-G is je.
Yeah, so that's a tough one.
But I'm looking forward to this one as well. This is being released at a very odd time of year. It's like the middle of April, which is kind of strange for something like this. You would think this would be something you'd see around, like festival season or, like Oscar season. Something of this caliber, I would say.
I'm thinking of this movie more along the lines of like like Gone Girl or...
yeah, but Gone Girl came out in Oscar season.
I know, but something... almost not really, kind of like Side Effects, something like that, where it's like it's going to take like a completely different turn that you're not going to expect.
Identity.
And I don't Identity.
I'm telling you, man, I got that vibe from the trailer. It really seemed like one of those movies that was just like, this is too obvious to be as obvious as it is. Like, it doesn't seem like it's just going to be as cut and dry as the trailer makes it seem.
Right.
Well, the trailer kind of spills everything towards the end. Like, once you get towards the end, it really just spills everything. You're like, oh, okay.
Right.
So he just wants this guy to prove that he's innocent.
Right.
Okay.
So, to finish up the... I'm sorry, did you...
No.
We're going to just finish up the podcast real quick with 3 movies that are feature presentations. First one being Unbroken. Now... we're talking about Oscar bait. This is the biggest Oscar bait of the season. This story...
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, this man's life. This man led possibly the most incredible life of all time. To go from Olympic athlete to war hero to stranded at sea to POW. Holy shit, Like, this guy's
Dude, if
life.
you don't win something...
There's not much more that you can go
There's not much more you can do, right?
What else? Yeah, what else you got, man?
I want to see this. I mean, it looks very compelling. It's just...
it's got that warm...
it looks like it's going to be 4 hours long.
It's got that warm war feeling to it.
Yeah.
That makes you want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it absolutely... it's kind of... I wouldn't say grayscale, but it's got that dirty, musty feel
I get what you're saying. It's
that makes you want to see it.
I know it's the contrast is very, very low.
Yeah.
And everything is dingy and kind
dingy
of like a
is
tint
a better
to
way
it.
to
Yeah.
say.
And that's a lot of films that are set in the early 40s will have that look.
Yeah, it's got a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which is kind of disheartening for a movie that looks
just okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just early press releases, though. It officially comes out in the next week.
Yeah, and
Christmas Day.
And the thing
is...
okay,
well, there you go.
You don't have any big names in this movie. Like, it's gonna...
I think it's Angelina Jolie's
movie that just, like, kind of throws you on your ass, and it's like, ta-da!
Right.
We did it.
And it is Angelina Jolie's directorial debut. So
yeah, I think this is a lot of a lot of potential in this movie.
After that, we have The Imitation Game, which we talked about this about a month and a half ago. Benedict Cumberbatch, Keira Knightley,
Bernadette Cumberbatch.
Yeah, Bernadette Cumberbatch.
Penguin.
With the penguins.
Bubble Dean Gobblebag.
But we talked about this about a month and a half ago, which is detailing Alan Turing, I should say, during World War II, breaking the German codes.
Yeah.
And this, I
like
think,
things like that.
Oh, I love stuff like this. I cannot wait for this movie. I'm anticipating this more than anything else this season, and I think we've lost Paul's interest.
I'm still here.
I gotta say, yeah, this is the thing I'm looking forward to most this season. I think this has the potential to sweep at the Oscars with what it has going for it.
This one is really taking people by storm. It's got an 8.3 out of 10 right now.
I think Danny is going to be our IMDb rating puller.
He's our fucking
I love that. No,
scoreboard.
we need that. That's good.
His Metascores, the Metascore of that movie is 72. It's really sitting pretty. I mean, like look at the cast: Benedict Cumberbatch and
Keira Knightley,
Keira
Bill
Knightley,
Nighy,
Matthew Good. Like that's
Mark
Bill
Strong.
Nye?
Not Bill Nye, Bill Nighy.
Nay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be
Yeah.
a dipshit
From,
when you say his last
from
name.
Underworld and Valkyrie.
Super
and,
excited.
yeah.
And all this.
Mark Strong. I
what was
fucking
that
love Mark
stupid
Strong.
movie with
You do have kind of an uncomfortable hard-on for Mark Strong.
What?
Yeah, keep talking. And
But
I'll
far
figure
as
it
this
out.
goes, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
Did I?
You don't have to raise your hand, Paul.
Kim and I picked your one.
You can't just pick.
You
can't
picked
just
my
do that.
one.
We picked
You
your
can't
one.
just pick my one.
We think you'll agree with it.
What is it?
What's his name?
Mark Strong.
Yeah. We win.
I don't know if I said this when we first talked about it. I probably did, but the feel of this movie reminds me of the feel of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
I do remember you saying that.
Okay, I probably did, and I really like that. So I think that I would probably really like this movie. It hasn't seemed.
When did that movie come out?
A few years ago.
That came out
1 or
at least 2 years ago. Yeah.
Was it something you saw in theaters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was like it drew you enough to.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy was Gary Oldman, Colin Firth.
Gary Oldman is one of the best fucking
I love him.
actors.
I know.
Yeah, I will see a movie. He's one of the few actors I'll see a movie because he's in it.
Yeah, I don't care. They could do Fifth Element fucking 7 and not even do 2 through 6. And I'm like, Fifth Element 7, I'm in.
But yeah, really looking forward to that. And our final one in future presentations is Woman in Black 2, Angel of Death.
Saw the first one.
As did I.
Saw the first one. Story sucked a big bag of dicks.
Sounds exciting.
Was legitimately the only movie where I ever screamed and threw my popcorn in the theater. And it's only because there was one scene where like he was looking out the window all like, I'm Daniel Radcliffe. I was in Harry Potter, and he was like stroking his dick or something. I don't know what he was doing. But like
apparently
all of a sudden,
Danny thinks his dick is on his face because he's rubbing his chin as he says that.
No, I just do that because it feels nice. But all of a sudden there was like this other face that appeared in the window.
Right.
And it screamed and like shook the theater. Only time I ever threw my popcorn. Long story short, Woman in Black 2 is going to be terrible.
It is.
Long story short, it's what Danny calls his penis.
The Woman
No, I
in
call that
Black
long story long.
Well done.
That was
the best laugh of all time.
That was a wonderful comeback, Daniel.
It was so good.
Yes, Kip and I also saw Woman in Black. I thought Daniel Radcliffe was okay. He was straight off of Harry Potter at that point, and he was looking to.
His acting wasn't bad.
No, he was
The
fine.
acting,
Yeah,
the acting in that movie wasn't bad.
Right.
But I think that movie was very poor.
Yeah.
Yes.
In general,
it had a the jump scares were genuine good.
That's
jump
all it
scares.
was, though.
But it was just all jump scares.
there was no.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go home and like. That's what we were talking about earlier
Be
with the
like,
slasher
yeah.
films and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you don't go home and you're worried about the Woman in Black being.
But
in
you
your
know
room.
what? Like in the times of Freddy and Jason, like where these movies were big, like these were movies that would send you home scared because they were the things of nightmares.
Well,
and we're
and
so
they were
desensit-
revolutional. You know,
Right.
like they were one of a kind.
But it takes a different thing to scare us now. You
That's
know,
true.
we're not scared by monster movies. We're not
And
scared.
I was just thinking that the other day. I was like, you know what the kids are like doing now? Like they're growing up on
becoming
Paranormal Activity. That's what they're growing up on, Paranormal Activity.
I know.
They're not growing up on people that just walk up to your log cabin or your back door and stab you with a sword, or chop your head in half. Like,
right.
It doesn't happen the same anymore. So I mean, times are changing, but I
Well,
think the Woman in Black was trying to do that whole. I can be scary, but not be like a scary person type of thing.
Right, I can be scary, but I
like,
have a sympathetic backstory thing. Right.
Yeah, and it was like okay,
a-
but I've seen that before. Like
It's kind of like a dead silence kind of thing.
and Dead
Oh,
Silence
God,
was
I
awful.
hated
Oh my
that.
god.
Well, like that's like the same kind of
Right. No, I could see that comparison. Yeah.
feel.
Right. But as far as this one goes, we actually didn't talk about this trailer on the podcast because we've only ever seen previews for it maybe the last 2 weeks. I didn't even know it was coming out until a couple weeks ago.
I had no
It's like,
idea.
where we have not heard about this. I mean, I don't think the first one did that bad. I'm assuming it made enough money to warrant a sequel, but we've heard nothing about this. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know why the Woman in Black is still going around doing this shit.
I don't know why
but-
they made a sequel.
Right.
I was like,
I was like,
okay,
eh.
you got me. You made me jump, and I spilled my popcorn and looked like a dipshit.
Right. But at this
You're
point,
doing
I'm like,
another one, though?
yeah, like, okay, it's going to be more jump scares, but all right.
That's the thing, like...
And again, it's a January horror film. They are never good.
Yeah.
Ever.
Rattle off a couple.
Are you talking about the movie or you? Rattle off a couple.
No. I mean,
Wait,
I'm
what?
legitimately curious. Like,
just took a turn.
you said January movies. I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying, what were a couple other January horror movies that just didn't...
Okay, a couple good examples. Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, came out last year.
I like the
Wait,
marked ones.
when did
that was like the 6th one in the series.
Devil's Due come out?
That
It
came out in
was-
January last year.
Yeah,
It was the
Devil's Due.
5th, but it was an independent story, and I liked that movie.
But Devil's Due was
Devil's
awful.
Due was awful.
Devil's Due sucked.
And that came out in January of last
Wait,
year.
that was the one we all saw together, right?
Yes.
That movie was
Where
horseshit.
the creepiest part was the people in the movie theater.
What? Oh my god, I remember that. Fuck, that was oh my god, I thought we were gonna
so
be
bizarre.
It was so weird.
People just came in and just stood in the back of the theater as we're watching Devil's Due.
That
we're like,
did
we're
they
gonna
wear a
die.
V-mask? If they wore a V mask when they did that,
Dude,
it would've
like,
been the
anonymous
greatest thing.
mask.
Legit, like there were a couple times, like we would turn around and they'd be gone, and then like we turn around a couple minutes later and they'd be back. It was a couple times,
Yeah.
And there were a few times where we all like kind of looked at each other and were like, we might not leave this theater. Like they might fucking
Pretty
slaughter
sure
us.
This is gonna be like the Dark Knight.
Well, we were the only ones in the theater, weren't we? It was us and like
there was
one
a couple
other
other
group.
families
Like
in the
one,
theater.
like
yeah.
maybe two other
other
couples
groups?
or something like that.
And like I remember saying to Steve, I was like, I feel like they're casing theaters. Like they're going around and looking at other theaters and seeing which one has the least
None
amount of
these
people. Like they can
look
get,
like they're
they
nice.
can get
Let's
away
move
with it.
on.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you ever looked at me and thought that guy looks like he'd be a nice person?
Nope.
You've been in a
Maybe
car with
until
me.
you opened your mouth. And
Maybe. My mouth has already been open. Paul, the only time you're nice when there's a dick in your mouth. Yeah, that's because I'm
Wow.
not speaking.
And to finish up this Christmas podcast,
Merry Christmas, everybody.
yeah, I want to thank you all for tuning in again for another year. And have a very Merry Christmas. I want to thank the Goddess of Gore for coming by.
Word.
She fucking lives here.
I don't live
She
here.
lives
I live
4 fucking feet away,
next
dude. It's
door.
not.
It's
Come
the
on
same
now.
thing.
I want to thank the Superhuman Aficionado for coming by.
I fucking live here. Now
We
you're
all
welcome.
fucking live here, actually.
I want
Oh,
to thank
fucking
Danny
live.
for coming by.
This is my first one, and I feel like I'm very hopeful to come back for another.
We'll
one.
have you back again, sure. I tell you,
It's a lot of fun.
I think you had a very good time, pulling up the ratings and the scores. I think that could be a full-time job. I'm not saying that's your only job. But
Oh, no.
That's all you're good for.
Hey,
No.
Danny, keep in mind, he says job, but we don't get paid. He wants us to go and see really
Dude, I have
shitty
like
movies.
6 jobs where I don't get paid. It's all right. I have
He's
one
like,
job
hey
where I
guys,
get paid.
go watch all these really crappy movies so we can judge them. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, but see, I get to come over here and drink his beer and like.
yeah, you
know.
get free beer out of it.
I don't drink beer, but he does make
Or-
me drinks.
Or other
or
drinks.
Strongbow. And also, I know she wasn't
Russians
here,
or
but I just did get a message from the 3-Star Sapphire, and she thanks you guys for tuning in for the last year, and she is sorry she couldn't be here,
We had
but
some-
she's charming a snake.
We had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. She
And,
sadly couldn't be here.
It's really
Couldn't
hard
get
to
her
speak
through
over
tonight.
Spotify. What is it?
What?
What's the thing? The thing.
Skype.
Skype.
Right.
It's really hard to talk over Skype with a snake in your mouth.
God. But I, once again, am the projectionist. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Have a very Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. And take care.
We love you guys.